Welcome back to the Ride Boundless podcast with me, Robert Valderrama. On this episode, we spoke to a world traveler, badass, very funny, supermoto racer, life adventurer, and the first woman on the Ride Boundless podcast. Let me introduce you to Spicoly. Let's get started. What's been going on? You were in Arizona?
Yeah, we were in Arizona just at
like a day ago or today?
Yeah, today, Saturday. We went out there Friday night. Last minute, me and my girlfriend went for a moto ride to Huntington Beach, and hence my voice is a little bit off. I'm a little bit raspy. It was definitely a good time.
Partying, yelling.
Yeah.
Was everything closed or?
No, everything was open up. It was crazy. It was the first time eating in 2 months at a restaurant.
You sat down inside of a restaurant?
Yeah.
I can't even imagine that.
Right? Have you guys been there yet? No, it's a revelation.
Yeah, really.
We were already sitting in. We were like in
waiters.
our main meal, and we're like, wait a minute. This is the first time in 2 months that we've actually eaten at a restaurant. It was kind of like we just went into them naturally, but
I think that's the number one thing I've been missing since this whole thing has started is a restaurant.
Absolutely.
Food, not cooking, not having the mess at the house.
Yeah.
But what else was open? The retail stores were open.
Pretty much everything was open down there.
Was the lake open?
Lake was fully open, but packed to try to get the boat into the water. They were waiting from 8 a.m. till 1 o'clock in a line.
A line to dock.
Wow. But he obviously has lived there a couple times and like for a couple years, and he kind of knew the girl at the front, so he left his boat down there, but then we all got to go back to the house for a couple hours and chill, and then he just rang her up and said, like, can we come put it in the water? And
what about the
VIP just dropped it in, and we went off and left the line. So
that's fucking amazing.
Not bad.
Did were the police active? Are they just trying to stop people, or it's just publicly open because Arizona doesn't give a fuck?
Didn't even see one police.
Jeez, we have
the whole weekend.
Yeah, next destination. Sure.
Yeah, let's go to Lake Havasu.
Yeah, it's definitely no rules.
How was the drive? Any traffic?
We actually left. So on Friday night, I went and met up with my girlfriend Natasha. We were like riding our motorcycles, going through Huntington Beach, just gonna have a coffee. Everything is closed in Huntington, so we can grab our coffee. Told her, hey, I got an invite to go to Havasu. She's like, do you want to go right now? I was like, are you as crazy as I am? She's like, yes, I am. I was like, all right, I'll meet you in LA, pick you up, and we'll go.
Challenge accepted.
Yeah, basically. We arrived, I think, at like 3:30 in the morning on Saturday morning. Now would have been.
What time did you leave?
Like 9 o'clock. But we were like, we pulled over. We watched the stars in the middle of the desert. Like, we are not in any rush when we go somewhere.
That's fucking beautiful.
Yeah, it was definitely awesome.
Is that your first time there? No.
Yeah, it was.
Oh, really?
I've never been to Havasu. Yeah.
So everything.
I've been living in the U.S. for 2 years, and really every summer has just been full of like events and things going on. But with the COVID and no events happening, it's actually been kind of nice to just go take photos and just go to like little towns and like going to Havasu for the weekend. And it's kind of been a little vacay, I'm not going to lie.
Oh, I'm sure. Where are you originally from?
From Canada.
What part?
Rocky Mountains, southern Alberta.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, it is nice. Do you know where Banff is?
I don't.
Okay, Banff, Canada, it's like pretty well known. It's in the Glacier Mountains and very touristy destination. But I said if I ever die and I have 10 minutes to live anywhere, be anywhere in the world, it'll definitely be Banff, Alberta. It's amazing. If you can go, definitely worth the trip.
Yeah, we're planning on taking some road trips and.
Oh, for the bikes, it's awesome. Going through the Rocky Mountains, going over Big Bear, Tooth Mountain and stuff right from the U.S.
Yeah, well, one of the goals is to do a podcast on the road, you know.
That would be rad. People would definitely want to tune into that. Yeah. It's all about the adventure and the tour and where the bike journey. The journey, where the bike takes you. It's always somewhere new and just never know.
Yeah. When did you, after Canada, where did you go? You came directly here or you lived in other places?
Okay. So I was born and raised in Canada, lived there till about 2005. Did 1 year of university in Kelowna, and then after that, jet set it over to Australia. Went to school out in Australia, then jet set it over to the Caribbean. Lived in the Caribbean for 3 years, and that's where I discovered Supermoto. Before that, I was a sports bike rider.
Where in the Caribbean?
St. Bartholomew.
Nice.
if you know where that is.
Nice.
In the West Indies.
Yeah.
Yeah.
My nationality is Cuban. So.
Oh, okay. No way.
Yeah.
That's awesome. I've been to Cuba.
Yeah.
Really rad times. God, don't even remember. Not going to lie.
Yeah, who cares?
I was a
were
blur.
in Cuba.
It was a blur.
Yeah. You survived.
We did survive, yeah.
So you got into Super-Moto out there?
Yeah, just randomly. I was like,
Did you ride before this or?
Yeah, so I was riding since I was really young with my uncle. He was a professional motor cross rider, and he broke his back, unfortunately, and stopped riding. So on the farm, we didn't really have any bikes past that point. There was like a go-kart when you were a kid.
Yeah.
And like, I think grandma just kind of fizzed everything out. She's like, I don't want any of the kids getting hurt. And like, we were definitely wild. We jumped the golf cart one time and we got grounded for like a month. Like we were definitely hellraisers. We like put all this dirt in this pile and like trying to make a jump so we could jump it. I don't know what we were thinking.
Did you have to like go downhill to get enough speed?
Huge hill. Yeah. So the barn is up on top of a hill and then it comes down to where the house is. So, and then that's where we decided to build our jump where grandma is going to be doing the dishes and looking directly out at us. I don't know what we were thinking. We were definitely not that smart.
That's so funny. I wonder if that's ever a thought that crosses the parents that build the farm on top of the hills and they're thinking, the kids are going to throw themselves off this or they're going to roll off this. No, they're just thinking...
This is their little paradise. Everything's going to be cool. But yeah, then past that point, I didn't ride until I got my license at 16. And I didn't ride for years. I went and got my first sports bike as soon as I left high school and left the farm. Well, as soon as I went to university, I was like, I'm going to get an RSV4 Aprilia. This is the bike I want. This is it.
Do you have friends that rode with you? Or
yeah, so everyone in Canada kind of rides in the summertime. It's a big bike place. So I had friends that rode, but not really. Like I was kind of a lone wolf. Really? When I went into university, I also met a girlfriend and she's like, oh my God, you ride when I got my first bike. I was like, yeah. She's like, I'm going to get a bike too. So then we kind of became amigos.
Nice.
And just cruised around on our little sports bike thinking we're freaking amazing.
Yeah, we
were a gift to God on this RSV4. Could never handle it. I mean, it was stupid to get that at such a young age. But yeah, then after that, I got a 210 and then I went over to school in Australia. And as soon as I went over there, I really took like a gap for a long time. I actually lost my girlfriend on a motorcycle accident. So from there, I took 4 years. I didn't ride. Didn't go on the back, didn't do anything.
Can we talk about our accident real quick?
Yeah, for sure.
We
were just riding in Canada and she just missed her corner and she was riding behind me. And I mean, if you know the roads in Canada, they are hectic. It's like the snake times 10. Wow. It just goes forever and ever through these windy, really crazy mountains, high peak elevations, and it's just a cliff on the one side pretty much the whole time. So
that's terrible.
Yeah, the road that we were on, it was pretty treacherous, and she just missed her turn. And I didn't realize for a while, like I was riding, I was in the curves and stuff, and by the time I pulled over and got back to her, had to call the ambulance and go and get service as well because there's no service. It was pretty a hectic time. So
I'm so sorry about that.
Yeah, it's fine now, but like at the time I was like, wow, I'm probably never going to ride a motorcycle again.
Interesting fact that the two number one accidents that people have is on turns. That's number one. Sure. People taking them too fast or sharp enough, or they go into the other lane and there's a car coming, or they go off a cliff. And then the other ones, the intersections, they say, just people going too fast and they think they can make the light while the car's making a left.
I'm so paranoid at intersections.
Yeah.
I always put my hand up, even if they're way far away. I will put my hand up. Yeah, anything. Just be like, hey, I'm coming, because people just don't pay attention. Even in your car, like they almost hit you in your own car because they're just on their phones. They're not there.
Yeah, especially now. We talked about how crazy it is with COVID-19 because there's less traffic. People are racing more.
Yeah,
and they're driving faster and they're careless. And there's more accidents that are serious now than before.
Yeah,
before there was little bullshit accidents.
On the way here from Havasu, there was like 3 guys that like cut us off and just not paying attention. We passed them again and they're just on their phones. But like, Jesus,
so stupid.
What are people thinking?
Yeah, but no, continue. And so 4 years you didn't ride.
So I didn't ride for about 4 years. I took a huge long break and then I got a job opportunity that took me to work 6 months in the Caribbean and 6 months in the Mediterranean.
Beautiful.
And I was definitely.
What were you doing?
I was working with the yachts. I was doing yacht management for a private person and just managed his yachts for him. So it was pretty rad.
Sounds terrible.
So yeah, I was living and I based myself out of the Caribbean because I really love this island. This island was magic to me when I first arrived. I thought it was absolutely crazy. So I was living there and I got this long break. I got about a month off, which is the first time in 4 years I had like a full month off when I was working with these guys. And I was like, fuck, I need to get I don't know if I can swear.
You can,
Of course, yeah.
absolutely.
I was like, I need to get a vehicle. I don't want a car because the island's too small.
Yeah.
I don't want a scooter because I'm not retarded.
Right.
Just kidding.
Sorry,
I would
retard.
ride a scooter. I would ride a scooter. I'm just
Maybe
kidding.
in Italy,
Yeah,
like,
no.
for one
Oh, no.
for a movie.
Vespas, I will rock a Vespa, but I'm just kidding. I just thought I was too cool at the time.
It'd
I
be
was
like
like,
the
I want
fourth or
something
fifth bike.
cooler than the average person,
Yeah.
you know? I was like, I want the clicking. So then my friend called me up and he's like, hey, you'll never believe this, but like this bike, I have it. I'm going to drop it off at the front of your house. Drive it today. Let me know if you want to buy it. He's selling it like now. I was like, okay. So I wake up in the morning, have my coffee, go outside, and here's this dirt bike that somebody put street tires on. And I literally laughed myself and I was like, this is the ugliest thing I've ever seen. Why would they do this?
Right.
So I call my friend up and I'm like, hey, what is this? He's like, it's a Super-Motaur because it's a French island.
Right.
He's like, it's a French thing. It's so rad. He's like, just
Everybody's
try it out.
doing it.
Yeah. He's like, try it out, man. It'll go forever. He's like, you're going to love it. It's perfect because these are like smaller roads. It's almost go-kart roads
Yeah.
on this island. So I was like, all right. I was like, how do you even start this thing? You know, there was a start stop because there was also a kick, but I was like, what are these extra buttons?
Right.
I've never had an automatic, starter on a dirt bike. So I
Oh,
was
is
like, oh, right, this is sweet. So I started up and an hour later I pulled over and I called him while I was on the bike and I was like, I will buy it. And I have not bought anything
Which one was
since.
it?
KTM, I think it was a 2008. Or no, it was a 2010 KTM 530 XC.
Nice.
And that is my all-time favorite bike. I love that bike.
Yeah, I was seeing it the other day in the Lamo. They're like $15,000 though. That is it's
Brand
pretty
new,
expensive.
yeah.
Yeah, brand new.
Oh man, they're worth it.
Yeah.
They have so much torque and so much power. The only thing is the maintenance. Now realizing being in America with a supermoto, the maintenance is a lot. It's a huge country that it takes forever to get any place. You have to drive a couple hours. And I mean, if you're driving a couple hours every day on a KTM, you are just going to be doing intervals of changing chains
how often
and
do you have to
everything
do it?
else. To do oil changes, I think it's like 5 or 6 hours.
No, but I mean every 1,000 miles, every.
Oh no, we go by hours.
Oh, okay.
It doesn't.
It's 5 to
The
6 hours.
530 doesn't. Yeah, like think about it. It's not that much.
No, it's not.
No,
I'd have to. I'd have to double check that. Like, but I think it's like, yeah, it's really not much. Like every time we're riding it, we're just doing oil changes like crazy.
That's insane.
When I went, I took the 530 from.
It can't be that.
From Bar. Yeah, I got to look it up. From It isn't that much though.
She's checking right now.
I'm literally checking.
Yeah,
I have to double check because
Yeah,
it's been a long weekend and
basically,
I
that
haven't
will
ridden it
be-
for a bit.
Every 10 times I come here, I would have to change my oil.
Yeah, but that's also what she's saying. That's exactly how often they were doing it. That's terrible.
Maybe don't quote
Well,
me.
unless if the oil is
Until I
like super
confirm.
cheap and it's something super easy to do and you're just
It is cheap and like it is super simple. It's just unplugging it and just topping it back up. It's really not that long. But
you got to change the filters and everything else.
I am freaking lazy. I change my filters like every 2 or 3 times. Like I'll check them. If
So
they
you
look
just-
good, you just kind of eye it. If it looks good, you're not going to change it. You're not going to waste your money.
I
'Cause
guess
you
it-
also do change them a lot. Like
Yeah, I guess it also depends how much oil it's carrying to begin with. You know, if it's not much and
Yeah.
if it's a quart, and you
yeah, it's
probably
like
have to change.
1.2, I think.
Is it 1.2? So I could see that being possible, but not
It's not ideal. For sure.
not 5.
Oh
6
no,
hours,
that's what I
but-
mean. Like it's not a bike that's going to take you long places, and also
Yeah.
it has a
Yeah.
really small gas tank. So for America, it doesn't make sense, but in
Right.
the Caribbean,
It's
man,
perfect.
this thing was amazing.
Or in Bali.
Yeah, somewhere that it's like more smaller roads.
Yeah.
And also it's funner on smaller roads because it's meant to go through those curves and like get right into it.
Well, these are the only bikes. I went to Hawaii right before the COVID started. That's all the bikes that they ride in Hawaii.
That's the second time you said that because you said the same thing about
Yeah.
San Francisco too.
It
right?
is
Oh
confirmed.
yeah, San Francisco they're starting a lot. Yeah.
It is confirmed. The guy said that he changes his oil every 5 to 7 hours.
Wow. But if it's
The
no,
book
but that's
the book says 15 hour, like it says 10 to 15 hours.
interesting.
Like,
That's today's fun fact.
that's just off of
Yeah,
what
first search in
website,
Google.
what
yeah.
website was I looking?
Blame
Let me
the-
just register. Yeah.
Oh, well, you found one.
Thumper
so-
Talk. Thumper Talk. Don't know what it is. Looks like it's all bike stuff.
Is it a
but
.com?
It is a .com.
Okay, then
we
it's
have,
legit. It's
yeah,
legit.
it's a legit
source.
thing.
We
Yeah.
can totally read this.
I did definitely have used this before, but not on the regular. They do have an app even, guys.
Wow.
Jeez, they're fucking
They,
really
they,
legit.
got it.
Yeah. Oh, that's it. I never wouldn't have thought that. He had a trip in San Francisco with Rio with a buddy of ours, and he was saying, Robert, there's supermotos everywhere in San Francisco. And I
Oh,
was like,
there is. Bay Area Supermoto. These guys are rad. I haven't even ever been able to
Bay
meet them, but they
Area.
have a ride up there every year that is literally worldwide, like, known.
That's
Like,
amazing.
it is huge. There is hundreds of supermotos that go there. They all meet up in San Francisco. They do this amazing ride. It's like been my dream for so long, and I haven't been able to do it this last year. Was hoping this year, but now this whole
Stupid.
Crazy COVID.
Fake news.
fake news, same as these killer bees that they're talking about.
Yeah,
Where?
the Hornets
Where?
or whatever. Yeah.
I'm looking it up, and they're like the United States, North America. I'm like, that is a
Small territory.
broad thing to say. I mean,
Yeah,
like,
really?
are these out our neighborhood or where? Nobody knows.
Yeah.
That's interesting. You're right. Nobody's pinpointed exactly where they're
Nobody has. I'm like, how can you say that? Where?
It happens a lot with my family. They call me and they're like, the whole US is dying. Everybody's infected. And I was like, what are you talking about? 1.5 million people are infected. And I was like, sure. Have you seen the size of your country? Like, we're like, I don't know, like 10 times. Like, no, not too much. Way more
We're,
than
we're,
that.
we're 320 million.
Yeah, and they're 40 million. So, yeah, almost 10 times.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Yeah, it is crazy.
So then you took it for a ride, rode it for an hour. You were hooked. You called it.
Yeah.
You bought it, and then what
Had to
happened?
have it. Had to have it.
What was it? What was
Oh, actually, you know what? Sorry, I totally forgot. I lied. It was actually a 450.
Fucking
The
liar.
very first bike I ever rode, first supermoto, was actually a 450. This is actually a crazy story. Within 3 weeks, I owned that bike. I bought a brand new Hublot. I was like working my ass off. So I was like, I'm going to buy myself a Hublot. You know, I'm set up. I got my bike. I got my cool watch. I got like everything going on. It's awesome. Dream. Watching the sunset
Goals.
one night and just was cruising to go meet a couple girlfriends and a couple friends that I knew for dinner. And if you've ever been in the Caribbean in the summer, it is boiling hot.
Super.
So
Humid.
I ride with Chucks on, booty shorts, and just a bikini top. I went swimming, jumped on my bike, was just cruising home. It's probably 3.5 miles. Don't quote me on that. I don't know.
Yeah.
but about
Something like
3.5 miles to my house. It's not far from where I was. And there's these big rolly hills. I came up the hill and another kid who was drunk driving on a scooter on one of those T-Maxes.
Uh-oh.
So it's a bigger scooter. It's
Right.
almost considered a motorbike, as they say.
Yeah, it's 500. Right?
Yeah, but so, and I was cruising. I was going like 30, 40 kilometers an hour. Like, I was not going fast. I was watching the sunset. I was on full relaxed mode, but I can hear him coming. He flies over, and all I saw was a headlight. And then when I woke up, I was on the pavement.
No, he hit you.
Full head-on collision. It was the craziest crash I've ever had in my life by far. It was the first time, like, I just had got this bike. The bike was like completely severed in half. When I woke up, I had like blood coming out of the side of me, and I was in the middle of the road. I had to like scooch my body into the ditch.
Oh shit.
And like on the island, it's very heavy traffic when it becomes 5 o'clock. Like, there's only one road.
Right.
And it's a one way. So everyone has to either pull over and it's just a shuffle. So it took, I think, like 45 or 50 minutes for the ambulance to get on that side of the island, because that's exact opposite of where the main town is and the only hospital on the island, of course.
Of course.
So by the time he came, and I could just hear the kid, I couldn't see him at all, but I could just hear him screaming the entire time. So I knew he was in really rough shape. Like, I couldn't move my body, but I knew like I was okay. Like, I was mentally, I was there. I was watching everything go down.
You were present.
Yeah, I was fully present during the whole thing. And then it was starting to get like dark out because it was just sunset. And then we get into our separate ambulances, and we get taken to the hospital. And I had broken my ankle and my foot, and like I walked away with just burns all over my body, like head to toe.
Right,
I was burned. I had like a huge gash on my forehead.
You said no helmet, huh?
I was wearing a helmet and it exploded upon impact, and they could never find the rest of the pieces. They got like 2 pieces of my helmet, and I didn't even have a cracked head or anything. Like, I do not know how that happened. But if my arms were like above my head or whatever when I fell, but I was really, really, really crazily lucky. But I found out the next morning because we stayed the night in the hospital. We had to do full x-rays and all the blood work and everything else, you know.
Anything broken?
Yeah, I had broken my ankle. But other than that, it was the burns. The burns, I would take a broken bone over burns on a road any day.
Mm-hmm.
Just the pain for the weeks after, trying to shower, and just, I passed out the first time I had to shower. I was dead. I couldn't believe it. But the kid had lost, he was 19 years old, and it was his second time drinking and driving and being caught. And he was just fishing with his buddies, coming home, 19 years old, and the kid lost his arm and his leg.
Oh, holy shit.
Yeah, so it was really devastating to hear that. But his dad was the mayor of the island.
No.
So it also was like getting political because like what happened? Was it? Yeah. So when I actually got out, he sent one of my friends a message on Facebook and said like, hey, is the girl okay? Because he didn't know who I was. I didn't know who he was. Like, hey, is the girl okay? And so he said like, yeah, she's fine. She's like, okay. Just told her like my injuries and stuff. And then I get a letter from his dad gonna drop me a lawsuit because he said that I swerved into his son's lane.
What a piece of shit.
So I actually had to go out there in full bandages, get my mate to drive me out there in his Jeep and take photos of the whole scene.
What?
Because I was like, I'm going to do my own
terrible.
investigating here. Like, this is crazy. Like, and you can tell like my skid marks are all the way on the right-hand side. Like, I'm almost off the cliff.
Yeah.
Because I just saw it and I don't even know what happened. I guess I just locked up my bars going the opposite way.
Yeah.
And then just got full on hit. But the kid, I don't think it was the kid at all. It was 100% his dad. So I guess politics on the island, you know, you don't want to get a bad name either and stuff.
Right.
But then when the toxicology report came back, then everything was just dropped.
Yeah, of course.
Instantly. But I was glad at least I got to go out there. And I actually still have the lighter. Found like a lighter that was in my pocket. And I was like, oh, my lucky lighter.
It's so random, but that stuff means so much.
It's so crazy.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was my craziest experience. And then after that, I had to go work in the Mediterranean like 2 months after. So I just kind of in the bed, just trying to heal and get back to normal. But then while I was still in bandages, my mate told me who got me the 450. He's like, hey, your bike is completely totaled. The insurance is going to pay for everything. My mate's got a KTM 530. Do you want to go check it out? And I was like, yeah.
Absolutely. How many days was
Let's
this?
go. I think it was
next day.
No, it was like over a week. It was
You're like,
just over a week.
Wait until like I can shower.
I couldn't even shower by myself under anything. Like my bandages is so bad. To try to sit, I have one photo of me in full bandages sitting on the bike that I bought. And we laughed so hard. We're like, that was such a stupid, I don't know what. But it's the love for bikes.
It's a passion.
Honestly, it wasn't even my fault. It wasn't anything to do with the kids riding or my riding or anything. It was just like, get me back on a bike because I don't want to be scared of it kind of feel. So after that, then jumped up back on that bike and freak. That bike is the machine. I was like, what? Obviously, I didn't even want the 430, 450. Sorry, I wanted the 530 the whole time. So it was, a great bike. Packed that bike up actually and moved to the Mediterranean and got like a new frame put on it, but kept the same engine and everything.
Really?
Yeah, and then rebuilt it in Germany. Yeah, that bike has a fun story. Rebuilt it in Germany, rode it everywhere in Spain. And then when I moved over here to the US, I sold that bike to my mate, Kenny, stunt riding in Germany. And so he still has that KTM.
That's fucking awesome.
Yeah.
I got a question on that. How difficult is it to travel and transporting your bike? Is it super expensive? Is it super realistic? You know,
It's not realistic.
it's not. It's a nightmare.
If you want to do it the legal way.
Yeah. Nobody wants to do anything legal way.
Okay, so there's 2 options here. So I'm going to tell you, don't know which one I did, but the legal way about doing it is that you are going to register it. So you're going to be paying taxes. You're going to import it properly. You're going to get that bike registered underneath that VIN number and do all the processing, which is going to pretty much cost you the exact same amount as the bike is worth.
Mm-hmm.
It is going to cost you a lot of money.
Yeah.
But if you break it down into pieces, technically somebody could do this and ship it over separately in different boxes and then rebuild it. And you're still going underneath because Caribbean is actually European still because it's a French colony.
Yeah.
you can still ride it and get away with it.
That's genius.
But you also have to
Boom.
have blonde hair, boobs, and ass if a police does really investigate into that.
This is true. Wear the booty shorts, and
Yeah.
so you
But
could
you were
probably
able
get
to
away
ride-
with this, Hyman.
I will, for sure.
Yeah, you can rock it for sure.
Exactly. So did you end up registering the bike? Or can you?
I insured it still through the Caribbean the whole time. I got a little bit sticky there for a bit. And so I did buy a second KTM 530 that was totaled off, I found. And I had been looking for it for a while and finally found it, this little angel that was completely destroyed. But then I just took that registration, even though it was a different bike. But it could just say I messed up my registration, maybe. I mean, it happens.
It wasn't me. It was somebody else.
What? Me?
Huh?
I don't even know.
Yeah.
Yeah. Twirling your hair.
Play a bit dumb. I mean, we all do it sometimes.
Yeah, we all do it. There's no
Especially
doubt about
Robert.
that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's the only way to get away with
So
stuff.
yeah, so I was able to get away with it and still have the bike that I really wanted there. So it worked out.
So you actually took it apart from the
So
Caribbean to the
when
Mediterranean.
yeah.
Mediterranean to Germany. You took it apart? No, or you were
No, because once
you're there,
yeah,
you're there.
you're there. So I ended up buying another KTM, my first KTM 690
So you're
in
full
Germany.
on KTM.
While I was building this KTM 530, I have a tattoo behind my ear, the Ready to Race symbol. Not gonna lie, I'm
I knew it.
KTM obsessed. I love KTM. I wish they'd sponsor me, but they're only into flat tracking. Guys, get back into
Come on,
Supermoto.
guys.
Here's a hint.
Hint, hint, hint. This is why we're doing this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I absolutely love KTM. I don't know. They just seem so reliable, and I've met so many good people through KTM. It's just without even being associated with them in any shape or form other than just loving the brand and the bikes that they put out. Yeah, it's definitely a diehard.
Yeah, they've made quite a stable for themselves in the last 15 years.
Yeah.
Everybody loves the KTM's right now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They are a little bit more expensive. But they are reliable. A lot of people say like, oh, I did actually, my very first 690 KTM actually broke the top end engine with only like 1,200 kilometers on it. Like this thing was pretty fresh.
Yeah.
But they already had done a recall for some of them. And I talked to a guy because I went on a forum on Reddit.
Yeah.
And was talking away on there being like, yo, I can't believe this happened with my bike. Has anyone else experienced this anywhere else in the world? Because like KTM is ignoring me right now. Come on.
They're not responding.
Somebody pull through and like, what did you do? And this guy in Australia responded back to me and he's like, oh my God, I had the exact same thing. I'm like, okay, well, what have you done? What are your ways about going about it? And he's like, oh, like they've ignored me here in Australia. And, but I've sent a couple emails and kind of corresponding through that. So I was like, okay, there's gotta be a better way.
Right.
So I got a hold of my friend who's a photographer and works with KTM, and he gave me a number. So I ended up calling him and being like, hey, this is the deal. Love your guys' bikes. My bike broke.
Yeah. Sure.
let's help a girl out.
There's got to
here.
be some warranty, right?
Yeah. So it did fall under warranty, but it did take a while because the bike now that I bought in Germany, or sorry, I actually bought the 690 in France. I was now in Spain. And we re-registered it down in Spain. So now it was like a little bit of a technical thing. And then from there, somebody in KTM headquarters in corporate got a hold of me and just asked me everything, like what happened, how are you riding? They actually like wanted to know, like somebody who actually like wanted to improve the product almost, not just a cold-hearted email. Hey guys, like, yeah, okay, it falls under warranty. Here you go. Don't really care how it broke. And I'm like, I have all the photos, the video of taking apart that top engine. Like, it was a major, major thing.
Yeah, you were very detailed.
This wasn't a small thing. Here, I actually had photos the other day. I just actually grabbed up too. And so she took it and she forwarded it to the right guy. The guy called me, talked to him, and he was so cool and just wanted to know more information. I was like, hey, there's also a guy in Australia. So I was able to also help him out with it by getting
the other complainer.
Yeah, and like another complaint, but we had the exact same problem.
Mm-hmm.
We literally looked at both of our photos of our top end and we're like, it's the exact same. Like this is going to happen again with somebody out there for sure. I'll have to try to find the photos.
I wonder how many bikes they're making a year.
But yeah, so they actually ended up giving me a brand new KTM 690.
Whoa.
Not just parts, nothing. They just said swap it out, send it in because we want to like inspect your bike.
So they're great
cool.
bikes and they have great
and they
customer
have great
service.
customer service.
Jeez.
Once you find them.
Yeah, Yeah, once you find them, that's the thing about everything though. You know, there is a main line because people do get overrun. They're a big company. Also have to think about how many people ride KTMs around the world.
Yeah.
If they have a question, they got to call in somewhere.
Yeah.
You know, if you have like this immediate line, but I mean, if you just dig a little bit and are patient enough to be like, okay, you know, I still do love this brand, even though something has happened. The Spanish warranty and the Spanish people weren't really helping me that much. So there was also a language barrier. Yeah, those people.
Spanish people.
Yeah. There was a bit of a language barrier because it was my first year there too.
How many languages do you speak?
I speak English and English. I'm really bad speaker at French. I understand a lot of French. I understand a lot of Spanish. I will definitely speak it terrible until I get a couple rums in me, and then apparently I'm fluent. But
yeah.
Well, I would never say I would never say I'm fluent in it. I understand a tiny bit of German, but I definitely understand French and Spanish the most.
Yeah.
And I speak Bahasa. I had to learn it because I used
I don't even know what that is.
It's actually a tattoo on my arm. It's
called Bahasa?
Bahasa, it's an Indonesian language. I worked for a company and taught English over there for a little bit and
so you've been
was
to
doing
Bali
underwater photography and doing like all sorts of crazy things when I was in university. When I took that 4-year break from the bikes, that's took on other passions instead.
Can I ask how old you are?
Yeah, I'm 32.
You've done so much in only 32 years?
Yeah, crazy.
You've been all over the world.
Have traveled. Yeah, I've also sailed around the world twice. And then I also got to go from Atlantic to Caribbean 9 times. So I'm also an avid sailor. I love the water. I do a lot of underwater photography, or used to, but now I'm doing more like action photography or artistic photography.
Which I do want to talk to you about that.
Which is also to do with bikes, mainly, just because I don't think it's a niche that's really tapped into, and might as well make my two passions come together.
Yeah, I think this is a good moment to introduce yourself to the listeners. How would you introduce yourself? Who are you?
So my birth name is Nicole, but everyone calls me and goes by the name of Spicoly.
Spicoly. And what do you do, Spicoly? Very cool name, by the way.
Spicoly, what do I do? What do I do?
What don't you do? What do you do? What's your profession?
What do I do? So I own a company in Barcelona. That's a moto shop, skateboard shop, and a surf shop.
So cool.
And run it with 2 other people. Work hard, work fine.
Nice, in Barcelona.
But we haven't really been doing much with it, to be honest. And now COVID, everyone is just kind of sleeping. And then I own a moving company here. I came here.
A moving company?
Moving company, like household movers.
Wow.
Yeah, super
like
random.
Locally or in national?
Locally for Orange County.
Oh, nice.
So when I first came here, I couldn't work.
Random.
Yeah, okay, this is the random story as well. I couldn't work. I'm a Canadian. I was getting my green card. I was married to an American. And I couldn't work because this was the whole time when Trump was dealing with immigration, and he was talking a lot about that. The websites went down once we already applied. And once you put in that application, you pay your lawyer your $10,000. You're locked and loaded. They say 3 to 6 months, you'll get your visa and you'll be able to work and live here.
Mm-hmm.
Do not believe that ever.
I mean,
ever. 1 year and a half later, I still didn't have it. I couldn't leave the country and I couldn't work.
Yikes.
That is crazy to be in a country that long that you can't work and you can't leave. If you leave, you're automatically forfeiting your application.
Yeah.
If you get 1 stamp on your passport, you're automatically. So I couldn't even go home across the border to Canada.
And also by staying here, that was also illegal after the 6 months, right?
No, because you already put in your application. So I had my government number. Yeah. So it was still fine. Yeah, I was an alien. But yeah, I was definitely paranoid. I never sped or anything on my motorcycle. I was like, be an angel at all times. I do not want to be on the radar. I'm not on the grid yet. Just wait till I'm there.
Yeah. Well, then you can break all the laws
exactly.
and drink and drive and speed.
How do you guys meet?
We actually met through a good friend in Germany and through Instagram mainly.
Okay.
Yeah.
So you met when you were not
I was actually in Barcelona and he was here in America.
Nice.
Yeah.
Was that one of the reasons you came here?
Yeah. Well, we debated. We're like, do we go to Europe? Because I'm a Spanish resident. So do we stay in Europe? Do I stay in Spain? Do we go to Australia? Because we also both have family there and have lived there. Do we go to Canada? Canada's way too cold. So that was nada. And then we just decided on America. There's a lot of opportunity. Super-Moto was kind of just getting started here as well. And it still is. It's definitely growing the niche here a lot more than, 10 years ago.
And
They had it in the X Games for a little while there, but then it just fizzed out like it never happened in America. They were just like, oh yeah, sweep that under the rug.
Right.
Like, no, we can't financially gain on that, so we're not gonna really get into it because it is a smaller niche. But when I moved to Barcelona, I saw racing for the first time and actually found out after the races that I was like, God, that rider was so good. I've never seen anything. I've never seen somebody slide around these corners so crazy and look so fluid. I was like, I didn't even know my bike could do that. Like I had no idea. And they're like, yeah, that was Marc Marquez.
Oh, nice.
And I was like, shut up.
Hello.
I was like, no. I was like, no way. I was like, I didn't even know that I was watching Marc Marquez. I thought he was just going to take me to go see my first Super-Moto race.
Right.
And then after that, I was even more into it. I got my first suit. I wasn't just a scab riding in whatever, jeans and these cut off shorts
booty
and
shorts
everything.
and a bikini top.
I kind of started taking it more seriously because I was like, wow, you can actually do a lot with this bike. Not just stunting or, goofing around or just taking you to places because you couldn't really ride crazy places because obviously the intervals.
Yeah.
So, then I got really interested in it. And actually it was the funniest time ever. I went to a racetrack in Barcelona and I never got to go on the racetrack.
You never got to go on the racetrack.
My friend, he was like, I'm gonna give you the lowdown. I'm gonna meet you at the racetrack, so you're not gonna be alone, and you'll be fine. I was like, okay, cool. So I show up with my bike really early in the morning, and these guys have like these blankets around their tires and stuff, and I'm like, what is this?
What's going on?
What is going on here? I was like, this is crazy, and I was super nervous, and everyone speaks Spanish, and I'm like this one blonde chick with her bike standing there, like, what do I do? And then he bailed on me at like 12 o'clock in the afternoon. He's like, oh my God, I have the worst family emergency. You're going to kill me. And I had to drive 3 hours. I had to rent a van and I had to drive 3 hours. So I left at like 3 a.m. to get there super early.
Oh,
and I never got to go on the racetrack. And I was like, maybe I should just go out. And I was like, maybe I should just see what happens. But I was like, I don't know the rules.
Yeah. And you
I don't want to be that girl. So I was like, man, okay, I'm going to pack up. So I went to the racetrack. Sat at the racetrack all day, had my bike there. I didn't have tire warmers. I didn't know anything about it. I had DOT tires on. And then I packed up and I came back and I never, that was my first racetrack experience.
Right.
You won.
And I was so, I was so bummed. I was so disheartened by it. I was like, damn, like I'm never going to get on a racetrack. So then I started wearing a leather suit and going out and like exploring more like curvy roads that I could go to that were locally. And really started loving it. And then when we moved here to the US, it was my first time ever racing. And I vomited in my helmet.
Did you?
I get so nervous before racing. I am terrible.
So you threw up before the race?
There's so many videos of me just dry heaving and being like so dramatic about it. I look back and I was like, I'm so dramatic, but I was actually feeling that way.
This is why we got to have the computer and Google this and just find
literally feeling that way. Like I was so nervous riding against only guys. And you don't know what you're doing. It's your first race ever. And you're like, I'm such a noob that everyone's just going to be laughing at me. And like, you're like, have all these crazy thoughts. You're like beating yourself up. And then you're like, all right, let's just go out and ride. And I'm like, all right, let's just get out and ride. And like 2 seconds later, I'm like stoked. Get like my heart racing, get at the, that adrenaline kind of going. You're getting excited. And then, it just bailed on me. And it just all came up from my stomach. And I was like, I thought I was doing good, but I wasn't.
Did you, after you threw up, did you do it?
Yeah, I had to get up in line. And I decided that my very first race was State Line in Las Vegas in Prim, Nevada there.
Yeah.
And I decided that I would not only just be a badass and race my first race with me never really doing much or practicing that much. I'd only gone to the track like 3 or 4 times before I ever raced.
Fuck.
So...
0 fucks given.
0 fucks. I didn't even think that it was that cool. I went and I signed up for the amateur. But then I decided to also sign up for the women's class and some other random class. And I was like, what was I thinking?
You weren't.
I came in after the first ride and I crashed like 5 times in the dirt. Like I was just covered from head to toe. And I also had all the water from trying to clean up my vomit.
Right.
So my helmet was so caked and it was so disgusting. When I came back
smelled.
in, it was you can picture it. I mean, people just picture this poor blonde girl out there. Like, what a mess. What a hot mess right there. And then after that, I came in, I was just done. I was done after the first race. I was like, this is bullshit.
Yeah, this is not what I expected.
This is not what I expected.
I didn't sign up for this show.
I was so nervous.
And this is about 2 years ago?
Yeah. Yeah, 2 years ago now. So, or probably, a year and a half ago, something like that. But yeah, now I'm much better. I don't vomit before a ride, but I still do get really nervous.
That'd be hilarious if that was like your signature. You
Yeah,
had
you
to
just
throw up
had
before.
to
Like,
throw
hold
up.
on.
Literally. Oh, she's that girl.
She's that girl.
Okay, it all makes sense.
Eminem style.
Yeah, literally.
Well, Eminem did that?
Yeah.
Really? I didn't know
He
that.
made like a rap song about it, like
Yeah.
spaghetti on my hoodie. I don't even know what the lyrics were. God.
That's interesting. It's
Eminem.
crazy, but it's amazing how nervous we get, especially when we're on
Man,
a race.
it was so
what-
nerve wracking. It was so nerve wracking. Yeah.
And now how are you dealing with it?
Now I'm just trying to hide from the camera.
Just fucking ride. Just focus.
Yeah, just try to focus a little bit more on it and like what's going down. But I'm kind of the type of person, I'm kind of a perfectionist. I don't really like doing things half-assed. And I really was racing my first season really half-assed because I was so nervous and I didn't know what to expect.
Yeah, you were overthinking
That I was way overthinking it and just wasn't really riding my ride. I was like riding very tame because I was like, oh, very Canadian, like, oops, sorry, sorry,
Sorry, eh? Hey?
sorry. Like a guy crashed and I literally stopped on the racetrack and I was like, are you okay, bro? He's like, yeah,
On
I'm
a
good.
race?
And I'm like, okay, cool. Yeah. And I just keep going because I don't know. I'm that type of person. If I see somebody who needs help, I don't care about the race. I'm a competitive person in my own right, and in my
Right.
own zone. But racing a supermoto against all these guys when I don't know what I'm doing, I'm there for the fun.
Yeah.
It was so fun for me. It was just like getting over that hurdle of trying something different that you didn't ever expect that you would do.
Yeah, but that's pretty cool because a lot of people that go there, they're so fucking competitive, and it's just like I have to win. I
Definitely wanted to win, but
Right,
I just knew I would not win.
Yeah,
I
well,
didn't have enough practice behind me, or like enough time to ever really
you just need a little
get
luck,
that like up
skill,
there.
luck.
Yeah, I mean, everyone's hands are the exact same. If you can do it, I can do it.
Right.
And I really, really do believe that it's time in the seat that is the difference.
Yeah.
If you spend enough time in the seat, you're going to perfect anything. Look at Marc Marquez, for example. Yes, I am a Marc Marquez fan. Look at
Shout out.
little shout out. Look at him, for example. How much time has he spent in the seat since he was how old?
Right.
I mean, obviously he's going to be good. Tiger Woods, how good is he? How much time has he behind that club?
Behind the clubs.
The only difference between me and you, or me and perfecting anything, is how much time I willing to dedicate myself to that task and actually follow through with it.
Right. I tell people all the time, the only reason anybody sucks at anything is because they don't practice it. And if you obviously practice a 3-point or a free throw, and you practice it daily, whatever you're trying to get into, you're going to get good at it. But the only reason you suck at working out, or you suck at cooking, or you suck at riding bikes is because you don't practice it. People don't practice it. It's very simple.
And I don't even think that it's not necessarily. I mean, okay, if we have a scale of suck and a scale of like pro,
Right.
Your meter, no matter what your skill level is or what your athleticism is going to go up just the more time you put in.
No.
Yeah, they say that
Who are they?
The humans.
Those.
Who are they?
The intelligent humans. They said that you are 10,000 hours away from being pro at anything.
Exactly.
Well, that makes sense.
100%.
They say.
No?
They say.
They
so.
say, but we don't know who they are.
Those
They say
people
no
out
matter.
there.
Yeah, they say no matter where you go, there you are.
About a year ago, I met you, and you. I think you mentioned that you were working with Asvarna.
Yeah, so I do still have the Husqvarna. We don't work directly with them. Yeah, Husqvarna. Everyone says it differently. It's totally okay. I get corrected all the time for how I say things. And I'm like, KTM. Everyone has a different... Yeah, exactly. Honestly, I love this. We had a bit of a dispute, Parker and I. I was like, man, I'm such a KTM fan. I don't think I can buy another bike.
Yeah.
He's like, no, you should really buy this bike. I was like, okay, I will buy this bike. And I was so stoked when we actually got the bike and we're racing with it.
Wait.
Husqvarna had signed us on to do it for a season anyway.
Right.
The moment we picked it up and I opened up the gas can, the cap to be able to fill it. And inside it had the label of KTM, and I was like, okay,
Nice.
Everything's okay. It's still
Everything's
a KTM.
Okay.
Every part is labeled KTM. Filters are KTM. I mean, it is, which works out well for me because all my tools are KTM.
Right.
So everything
Of
was
course.
easy to transfer over,
Yeah.
and it's just the exact same bike. It's just a different version.
Right.
I don't know exactly their marketing skills. People try to say that Husqvarna is, their higher end of what they're trying to build, and they're trying to make this different niche. But to be honest, I've ridden both bikes and I'm like, they're the same.
Right. Well,
I don't really know. I don't really know the difference, to be honest.
It's the whole Lexus Toyota
exactly
thing where it's like it's inside the guts, everything's exactly the same. It says Toyota Motors, but there's a few features and you have a different price markup.
Yeah,
that's it. There's nothing
in
else.
the
It's marketing.
Husqvarna, I think actually it is the same engine.
It is
just bore a little differently, so it's from 690 something to 701 or 702.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Like that's the big thing that a lot of Europeans that I'm friends with on social media that they talk about. They're like, "Oh, you tried the 690 or did you try the 7? What do you think?" I'm like, "It's tomato. I mean,
potato.
what are we, potato. What are we really talking about here? I mean, there is a couple little different things, but I mean, they're so minor.
Yeah, it's bullshit. It's marketing.
It's like,
it's marketing 100%.
Exactly. It's just a big marketing thing, and that's fine. I mean, it is cool. I do really like both brands and both of the people that do work behind them. But yeah, I'll always be a diehard KTM. Whenever I see that just KTM, I don't know, my heart lights up. Whenever I see that orange, even on a truck or anything, I'm like, yeah, KTM. I'm like, nice color, bro.
That'd be cool. A KTM orange truck.
Yeah, there are some people have made custom trucks like this, and I've seen them. I'm like, I don't know if he rides a KTM or what, but that guy has a vibe.
Orange.
Yeah.
It's the same. It's funny. There is the same colors as Harley Davidson, and it gives completely different feelings.
It is,
but it's a different orange.
It is, and it's not so black based as well. It's like more like they really try to push like they're the orange brand, with the border of the black.
Yeah, and
where
white.
Harley is like the black with like just a little bit of the orange. So. Potato.
Yeah.
Potato,
tomato, potato. Yeah.
Yeah. So same but different.
Yeah, same shit.
So talk a little bit more about the moving company. How did that,
Oh yeah. So yeah, I got a moving company. Yeah, we totally digressed there. Wow, that was a big digression.
We did. So you applied to the attorney 6 months, 7 months.
So yeah, it took forever.
No
I
work.
was dying. I was like, I just want to go. Like literally, my family live on the border, and I could not even go and see them. I was like, I could drive to the border and wave at you. Like we can.
You can do that.
We can throw like a football. Yeah, there's nothing there.
But you can literally wave and throw a football, a soccer ball.
Yeah, all the time. Like our school was based there. Like our soccer balls went into the U.S. all the time, and they'd like just bring them back. We could never go across. Grab our soccer ball. It's in a different country. No big deal.
What do you mean you couldn't come across?
Well, because there's alarm. There's triggers. So like like as a kid, you were definitely taught you don't cross that. Like that's the United States of America.
They'll shoot you.
That's in Coots, Alberta.
They have guns.
Yeah. They'll take you away from your parents and separate you.
Yeah, like whatever they try to scare children with, they probably definitely told it to us because I never crossed that line.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm a line crosser, so they must have said something pretty implemental.
So while you were waiting for your green card or work permit, you started
a moving company because you could actually do that while you were a Canadian citizen living in the United States.
Invest in a business, right?
So yeah, it's a business. So if you're a business owner, you can actually work, and it was just the easiest thing at the time.
Yeah.
To do. I never ever in a million years would have ever said I was going to own a moving company that's household movers. But I'm doing it. Guys.
So you currently do it also?
Yeah, I currently do it. I use like an iPad, and honestly, I can run it from just anywhere. And I just do all the paperwork, everything wireless. And then I just have a couple guys hired. They know I send them the paperwork. They pick it up. They're good to go. They go out on the jobs, and then I just pay them every 2 weeks.
Good for you.
So it's pretty easy. I mean, it is an easy company to start up. So if anyone wants to start up a company, just don't do it in Orange County.
do the guys you pay, they have their own truck or it's your truck?
No, it's my truck. So I lease a truck as well.
That's awesome.
Just
how many trucks do you have now?
I have one right now.
That's all you need to get
literally
started.
That's it. That's all you need to get started. Looking at expanding as well and getting another one, but I am a very crazy person. I don't say no to anything if it's a good opportunity.
Right.
So I have some news coming up the pipeline as well as I might be on a reality show out of Europe. I got shortlisted. So
what part of Europe?
So it's actually for yachts as well. What I used to do.
Right.
They said that it's called Below Decks. I don't know if you guys have ever seen it. I don't know if anyone has ever seen it. I only used to watch it because I used to be in the yachting industry. And so my old captain, who I love to death, G-Dog I call him, he said that they need somebody to come on board and be one of the reality shows. And I mean, it pays so well. You do everything like
you're gonna
it's
host
easy.
it or kind of walk through the yacht or prep or.
So there's an opening for like doing like the management of the boats again. And so you literally just get paid and work to do exactly what I was doing. But now there's just
More
cameras and then you get sponsorships and stuff like that. So I just got
cool.
shortlisted. I don't know if anything's going to come out of it. It could be cool. It could not be. But again, I just don't say no. So I'm like, yeah, let's do it. Let's find out. But plus I just did a Progressive commercial actually. You know the Motour?
Yep.
Yeah.
I am a Motour.
You're a motor?
I'm a Motour. Motor?
Yeah, Motor. Yeah.
Yeah, how do we pronounce this? This is what I said when I got on set. I was like, I don't know.
It's a motor, but now that you're a woman, this will be a motar?
Yeah, a motar, maybe.
Maybe
it is like the feminine version. What is the feminine version of motor?
Can you ask them to be a Super-Motaur though?
I don't know, right? I did. I had my Super-Motaur
So
for
you're a
it.
Super-Motaur.
But it's all green screen. Everything is
Right.
green screen,
Of
guys.
course.
So
No, I thought they were gonna-
you bring your own bike. Yeah, they chop off your bottom torso and they strap you on the bike and then you go from there. No, so everything is just green. They green screen out your whole entire bike. So your bike is just covered in this green plastic, which is terrible to ride in, and you just smell it burning on your engine. You're dying the whole day. You're like,
You're
God,
fucking
no.
up my bike, guys.
Yeah. And then we rode through. So apparently, there's just going to be this herd of us motors. There was only 4 of us
That's so
riding, but they
cool.
just duplicate it. So
That's
we had
good
to do
marketing.
the same set over and over and over and over and over again until it was so cold and windy that day. That was terrible.
Are you breaking any NDAs right now?
Have I what?
Are you breaking any NDAs right now?
I don't know.
Maybe.
No, I don't think so at
Okay.
all. I think
You
we're
could talk
chilling.
about it.
Okay.
Yeah, we're chilling to talk about it. That's fine. Like I was in the commercial, but we have had to stop production because of this whole COVID. So it was really going to air like in the middle of the summer, but now it's like October or later. So
Well,
yeah, but look out! I might be a Motor. I don't know if my face actually even got the cut yet. I haven't even seen anything.
literally,
They haven't contacted me anything. Yeah, literally
Was
the
there,
cut.
was there any woman?
No. Well, yeah, there was, but not riders. So what they
So
did
you'll
was
make
like
it.
grab. Yeah. Then they had the riders, and then they had you up on the green screen doing like your hair blowing in the wind kind of thing with the green screen behind.
Mm-hmm.
You know, the big fan in your
Yeah,
face.
yeah.
Yeah, it was very realistic, which is awesome to see as well. I was like, yeah.
That's pretty cool. And they paid you already, right?
You don't get paid until it is airing.
Oh,
so
that's
I mean,
interesting.
no matter how long it airs for, you get paid for it.
That's cool.
Oh, that's great.
That's
so
cool.
it
So, but
actually
yeah.
works
Because I'm
out.
sure they'll do like social content.
Oh,
and
the
like,
producer and the director and everyone was so amazing on set, and he got like I don't know how many awards, like over 20 or 30 awards for doing the football commercials this last year.
What's his
I don't
name?
know. I'd have to look back on the sheet. I'm not gonna lie.
We'll
Yeah.
put it in the
Um,
description.
Yeah,
We'll definitely put in the description.
yeah, exactly. But yeah, he won all these crazy awards, and he was so chill. It was a really good setup. So yeah, hopefully I'll be in the second one. Unless I just broke my NDA. I don't know. We'll risk it
Imagine.
all. I'm
Imagine.
like that. It's okay.
How did you originally get that part?
I have an agent. It's actually Howie Mandel's wife.
What?
If you know who Howie Mandel is.
Yeah, of course.
Okay. A lot of people, when I say that, they're like, I don't know who that is.
Yeah.
The guy that-
Well, I'm so old.
Howie Mandel.
Howie Mandel is the guy that doesn't shake hands?
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly.
He knew COVID was coming. He was fully aware. But I'm friends with his son, Alex, and he's an awesome guy. He rides motorcycles as well. I actually did my M1 here on his Grom. I was like, I'm definitely taking the Grom.
Yeah.
I
Right.
was like, this is going to be the easiest M1 ever. So took his Grom. But yeah, so his mom is, and Howie's wife is my agent. So she calls me up and
That's
I do
fucking
music
great.
videos and all anytime they need a woman that can get in. But I'm trying to get SAG right now. So it's also process. I need one more commercial this year to do. So
Which is going to be hard with the COVID-19, but I'm sure that you're
but I'm
doing
like,
everything
you know,
else.
It should pan through, but if not, then wasn't meant to be. That's okay.
So how do you manage your time? How do you get all this stuff done? Manage your time, because it's very impressive in the short time we're talking. How much stuff you've accomplished? What would you suggest to people?
I'm sure there's more also that we haven't.
I'm sure
Yeah.
there's a lot
Well-
more, but I want to know if there's any tips or anything.
I'm
that I
also
can-
starting up a women's moto brand as well.
Of
So like for
course.
women moto clothing and stuff like that. Man, I have this certain look that I like on my bike, and
Technical or more lifestyle?
no lifestyle. And it is so hard to find for women that is affordable. I mean, every woman motorcycle jacket that I find is like $700-800. I'm like, how is that possible when guys can pick up a jacket for $100?
Yeah.
That like
A
is
vest,
stylish,
100.
is stylish, something that at least would looks decent on you. I'm like, how is this possible here in America? So I'm trying to get something that's like more. And I went to.
Have you started?
Yeah, we just acquired the LLC, so we're on that phase.
All right.
Well, that's a start.
It's a start.
Absolutely.
We're getting there.
And what are you imagining? What are you trying to do? Just bring the cost down, or features?
Yeah,
or
to bring the cost down and just bring something a little bit more like that, keeping up with fashion and stuff like that, rather than just like the big black jackets. I mean, I do love them, but I also like to have a little bit of diversity too with moto clothing is for women. Something that isn't just big and baggy, that is fitted, that is stylish, and you don't really have to sacrifice being protected for looking good. Yeah. And I feel right now I really am sacrificing. I'm like, I'm either going to get really scraped up, but I look cool, or else I'm going to be fully protected like a marshmallow, but I look like a complete dork.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So it's this
balance.
like,
you gotta balance.
And I mean, some companies here are doing it and they're doing a really good job. It's just the price point isn't realistic for women getting into motorcycle riding. Yeah. It really isn't. Like they're independent women doing their own thing and like that, like proud of them for doing that. But you also need to realize that like these are independent women doing their own thing.
Yeah.
They're not having these,
they're
ridiculous paychecks and stuff like this that, some people guys can go out and buy this like BMW. I'm sure girls can too. But the niche right now, where the niche is not towards these like 4-year-old women who are fully established and they're like, holy shit, like I'm having been like prices, let me go out and like buy all this stuff that's motor related. No, they're just like the average Joe girl that are wanting to get out. They're wanting freedom. They're wanting to ride. And like they get that on the motorcycle. The niche is growing more and more every single day. And just to be able to kind of address that a little bit, I think is something that even me personally, I realize being here, I can't find stuff that I want. So I'm like, I might as well make it.
Yeah, I wonder, and I wish you all the luck on that, and I can't wait to see it. I wonder if the reason for it is because there's just not enough women riders buying stuff, and because they're not selling as much, the price points are higher, maybe?
This could also be. I wonder. This could also be.
But it's growing. It's changing.
For me, I honestly, even my first race season, I had to wear kids' clothing.
Really?
I couldn't get anything for female unless it was Fox. And I'm sorry, Fox Racing, but I just can't wear it.
Yeah.
Every single girl is wearing the exact same thing because that's all that's being put out there.
Yeah.
So for women's clothing, for like MX style, it's a hard find. I could only wear these like kids' clothing the whole time. So I'm like, why is nobody like making...
But Robert does bring a good point. Like everything is made... it's just a lower number of production.
Oh,
it
totally.
Definitely goes up the price.
Totally, absolutely. Which a lot of companies, one of my main sponsors is Cortec, and these guys have been phenomenal. They've built me a custom suit. It fits freaking phenomenal. I've worn their suits right off the shelf, and they all fit really great. And they're trying to break into that niche too of trying to be reasonable with women's clothing because it is a smaller niche. It is a growing niche. But how do you also take that as a business standpoint and be like, how do we run with that?
It's hard because we, in Los Pepes, we make clothes and we've been looking for, products to make for women. And we have like 4 women riding with us. Every time we ask them, they're only 4. They ask for things that are different in the same item. Yeah. So you're like, well, it's going to be hard to make them
Have
more
you ever
happy.
done drive-through with a woman? I mean, I don't know if I can speak for everyone. But people get so mad, guys especially. I am so indecisive. I will change my mind 10 times before we even get to the front. I'll be like, oh yeah, that's what I want. Oh no, totally don't. No, that, yes. Oh yes, one. Oh yeah, for sure. Add that as well. We are indecisive creatures, and by nature we are, I think. We want it all, and it's hard to make that decision.
Yeah, especially when you're trying to create one product and then a different one. Just making one is hard because they're asking you for different things and they can't match them all together. It's just going to be a mess. Even
just look at like traditionally how society pushes us. A guy can go out in a white tee and a pair of jeans and he can wear that for 2 weeks and nobody's going to say anything. A woman, we have to change every day, everything about us because people notice. People notice. They're like, oh wow, you wore those jeans 2 days in a row. Like
I don't know.
it's day 7, but okay.
You should be, you should be hanging out with
You know?
someone.
It's like I think it's just like society as well really pushes us to that, so that we really do want different things all the time. So we do want to purchase, and we do want to, you know, even though the niche is smaller, that I think women would be buying a lot more and having a lot more variety than men would. Men will buy one suit and they will wear it till it's nothing.
Right. Till
Us
the very
women,
end, till they have hole. Till
I
they
want
have
like
hole in their
4 or
underwear.
5 different suits just so I can match with what bike and helmet. I mean, we like to be matchy.
Right.
It's totally a different way of thinking that for moto women and for moto men.
Yeah.
And I mean, I'm definitely not putting us in completely 2 different categories, because
No,
there's
but-
always people that will wash over. This is strictly my own opinion of how I look at it.
Yeah,
So-
it sounds ridiculous. I have clothing for when I ride the Harley, and then I have different clothing for when I ride the BMW.
See, you get it. Yeah.
It's a dilemma. And then if I get this KTM because Jaime just got one, I got to get one, and then there's gonna be another set of
Yeah,
clothing.
you have to get one.
I definitely gonna get
I really want
You
you to
have
try
to
it.
get one.
I really
I
want
know,
you to
We're,
try
we're
it.
talking about the KTM 690 Enduro, and this bike is seriously awesome. You're
It's-
going to love it.
It's 2015, the one I got.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a new
But
one.
it's the first time I have, so I don't care. Fuck you.
I'm not riding no used bike. That
Yeah.
sounds terrible, bro.
And I'll wait until Robert gets the new one, and then I'll get the 500EX.
And then he's gonna get a
Ooh,
new
the
one.
500 is cool.
Yeah.
500 is a good bike.
We're actually trying to talk to the place that does the training for the Supermotos, right?
Yeah,
Which-
the so-called
SoCal Supermoto. There's also Live 100%. Have you heard about him as well?
No, thank you for bringing it up.
Yeah, both. I mean, I know both of them. SoCal is really great. I think they do private lessons as well, and they go out in huge groups. But Jamil at Live 100%, he has 4 brand new FS 450s, and he'll like walk you through like professional style.
That's awesome.
Like he'll take you like individually. He only has 4 bikes. He can only take max 4 people at a time, and you just go out and you learn everything. And he's really good. Live
Where is
100%. He's out of Redondo Beach, but he takes it to Riverside. So there's
Okay.
2 tracks here. There's
Yeah,
the
yeah.
Riverside, Apex, and then there's also Adams. So
And
Apex
Adams
is in
in?
Paris, and Adams is in Riverside,
Okay.
California.
California, Paris, California, everybody.
Paris, California. Yeah.
Oh,
Go to Paris, France.
And both are great tracks. Both are really good. Paris is kind of an easier one to learn with. It seems to be less busy. So you can go to that track and you can just have it for the full day. And they're really great there. They're really casual. And, you know, as long as you are respectful to them and respectful to the place and, you know, pick up after yourself, they'll respect you and just let you do your own thing. Adams is a little bit more stricter, just because I think they have a lot more traffic coming in. So with that, obviously there's different rules and regulations, and there are more eyes on you as well on the track. So, but both tracks are really good to start off.
yeah, we're definitely want to get involved and check it out and to, you know, do the training, do the course, maybe even sit down and talk to them and, you know, go from there.
Oh, you learn a lot. You learn a lot for sure. Just even about like, you know, the different, like braking and getting into the corner and, you know, then where you're going to be looking and where you're going to be going. They go over a lot of the basics.
What about popping
But
oil?
like, oh yeah,
Of course.
of course.
Jaime
Of
is
course
trying
that's
to
in here. The big thing is like by the end of the day, if you're, you know, a normal rider, me,
Sorry, I'm
Good
delayed.
rider.
I'm delayed. He said, Jaime's got to learn, and I just catched it. I was like,
Yeah,
what?
that was like 5 minutes ago. It's his life goal.
yeah.
No, go ahead. Sorry.
No, you're fine.
So they break it down. They
So
instruct
they break
you.
it down for you. So like by the end, I mean, I only did it a couple times, but like you're at least backing it in. You know, you're doing something cool. You're not just gonna learn how to ride this bike. You're gonna learn
Master it.
how
Slide.
what is the basics. Even if you can't do it that day, at least you understand it. He's trying to implant a seed in your mind
Right.
that okay, I kind of understand what you're talking about.
Isn't it weird how sometimes somebody instructs you or tells you how to do something, it doesn't click, and then you go home and you drive and it still doesn't click, and you're thinking about other stuff, and then you lay in bed and then you're like, oh,
Right.
I got to do this again, and it's just so different when you do it again because it
It
clicked.
is.
But it delays. Sometimes I'll delay for a day or two, and I'll be like, that's what they meant.
Don't blame yourself, Robert. I think it's just you.
Oh, probably, probably. But
No,
there's
I am
moments.
definitely the same.
Yeah, I went
Definitely.
to Thermal, you know, Thermal, passing Palm Springs. So Palm Springs, Cathedral City, then there's a city called Thermal, and they have a BMW track for all the M3s, M4s, you know.
Oh, no way.
It's super
That's
awesome.
cool.
And they have the drifting course. and
Yeah.
we did that.
I'm trying to do a drifting course right now.
Oh,
Actually,
it's so much fun.
It's
Where-
good.
where were
It's
you
just
doing
good
it?
to have on your resume.
Yeah, of
I've
course.
never done it.
Especially
I've
in the
done
film
like
industry.
the Got to take the Audi R6 on
Which one?
Circuit de Barcelona.
Oh, the Circuit Barcelona.
Yeah, that was sick.
Montmeló?
Yeah,
Nice.
exactly.
Yeah, no.
Exactly.
Exactly.
it's-
Exactamente.
Telemundo,
Si,
Margarita. But yeah, it was such a cool course that they had over there, and there was many things that I picked up, and some stuff was naturally easy. Obviously, if you have the right performing car and the right turns, it just kind of automatically does it.
Like a boss.
Like a boss. But then the next day, just certain things click, and you just do it so much better, and you understand. Like one thing that I was doing is I kind of stopped my RPMs like 4,500. I switched to the next year at 4,500. They're like, if you're going to go into another turn within 10 seconds, let the RPMs go up to 6,000, 7,000. Fuck it. Like that, you enter and you're not shifting the gear at that moment.
Yeah.
Or the other one, for some reason, I thought I can shift faster than the Triptronic, paddle shift. And they're like, bro, stop. Don't try to do it yourself.
Yeah.
This is much faster.
Yeah.
And hold this position, because no matter how crazy the turn is, you'll never go past, you won't do a full circle kind of deal. Anyways, but
the basics that you needed.
Yeah, it's just really simple stuff, but we complicated ourselves really, until you get that experience.
Definitely. You're like, how? What?
Yeah, like I'm going to go
It's like
full
mind blowing
turn.
to you.
No,
You're like,
don't.
how? What are you doing? And then when you do it for the first time, you're like, oh, okay, I get it.
Right. Right. There's that oh shit moment.
Yeah.
Oh, I was overthinking it
Like,
way too
I was
much.
being an idiot. Yeah.
So who are your sponsors right now?
So Cortec is my main sponsor, and then I work with HJC for my helmets. I actually switched over this year, which was a really hard call. Scorpion Helmets is who I worked with before, and I had been with them. They were my very first sponsor. They were the first person ever. I had like 1,200 followers on Instagram living in the Caribbean. And this random dude hits me up, Larry Manichelli. He hits me up and he's like, hey, do you want a free helmet? I was like, what? He's like, yeah, you're taking nonstop photos of your helmet and your bikes everywhere. He's like, do you want a free helmet? I'll send it to you. I was like, no freaking way. I can get a free helmet from this? I was like, this is crazy. Yeah. Social media is insane. I can get a free helmet. Like, to me at the time, I was like, that's crazy. Because also shipping into the Caribbean is really
Expensive.
It's not only expensive, it's like more the weight.
Because
it has to come in by boat.
Oh, that makes sense.
So you're waiting everything by boat.
They don't fly
which
the
is
plane
funny.
and just drop stuff off.
No, it's not like the
care
movies.
package.
You're literally,
Damn it.
You're literally waiting for this busted ass box to arrive, because it always is busted, to arrive off of a boat. That probably takes like a month and a half when you order things. Like, it's crazy how long it took. But yeah, so they gave me my first helmet. And then actually Larry went over to Cortec and I went with him for Cortec. All their clothing, all their lifestyle, and for their leathers. And I stayed with Scorpion. And then, I decided that it was a move that I wanted to make to try out a different helmet. I've literally never had a different helmet. I had an AGV when I was like a kid.
Yeah.
Which I still have. This helmet that's like 15 years old.
Really? That's great.
Yeah.
I wish I had
do.
my first helmet.
I definitely do. I keep my helmets. I have a collection. If you ever watch my YouTube, it's always in the background. It's there. And people always ask, like, how many helmets do you have? I was like, that's not even a quarter of them. It's like, I collect a lot of helmets. Any shoots I've been on, I did a commercial for Torque as well. And I got like 4 or 5 helmets out of it. Because once you wear it, they're not going to put it back in the box and try to sell it. They're like, no. They're made
just
for your head.
all the different sizes. What? No,
I'm like, this one is cool. Let me try that one. Yeah. So yeah, I definitely have a lot of helmets. But then from there, sponsorship wise, I was working just with the AMA Super-Moto, DRT racing. That's Alex Mock for the race season. And trying to think of who else. Really, Cortec is my biggest one. Oh, I just started with this CBD company. If anyone is into CBD, I don't know, but I
think everybody's into CBD, or they're
CBD.
trying to get everybody into CBD.
Exactly, just to try it out and see what's
like
happening
miracle
there. Yeah,
natural drug.
But my girlfriend met her up at Sturgis up there for the big bike rodeo and the MX jumping and all that was going on there. and met her and her husband, and they were so cool. And she's like, do you want to try one of my drinks? I was like, yeah, of course. She's like, it's CBD, just warning you. And I was like, oh, that's amazing.
Like
I
CBD
tried
water or soda?
It's CBD sparkling water. It's called Drink Present, and it is seriously phenomenal. Anytime I do a workout, I drink one right after, and it's supposed to like help with recovery and all the benefits of CBD that it gives you. And I really love it. So I've actually started working with her.
That's
out of just
awesome.
pure love for the product. So I fell in love with it. So, and then she also backed onto me, and I got her such cool content. She said that like she wants to also work together like full time. So I was like, that's awesome.
Yeah, collaborate.
So yeah, so we've definitely done a really cool collab with her. And she's also a moto chick. She's definitely, one of the people that you can just call up and talk to. So it's nothing. Same with Cortec. Like all of mine have been such good relationships or sponsorships. It's not necessarily about like what you're getting. It's like the people that you're going to be working with. I think a lot of people are just stoked and they just like want to collect the money and be like, yo, sponsor me. Like this is it.
Yeah.
And they do business very cold. I am definitely not that person. I'll like show up at the office and just be like, hey, what's going on? Like, I don't know. I like to be very much a people person. So if my sponsors aren't people as well, people, those peeps, if you're not
good peeps,
if you're not good peeps, then
get out of here.
Yeah, then definitely doesn't work for me.
Yeah.
So it's totally a different dynamic than most people say to get sponsorships.
Yeah. No, communication and bonding and, being cool is obviously going to make a stronger relationship.
Yeah.
Period. That's it. But there is companies that just want to shoot you a check and
exactly.
Or people that are sponsored. That I've encountered a couple of people that we're trying to get sponsored from. Yeah. That they said, hey, we're looking more for a relationship more than just give you a free product and never see you again.
Yeah. Well, I'm sure that happens. If you look at how many people are trying to be popular on social media and turn it into a business, I'm sure, these companies get thousands of people like, hey, send me free shit.
Yeah, exactly. It's getting saturated. It's really getting saturated that way, I think.
They got to be able to filter that. I even I have a product and people call me up and they want to support me by me sending them free shit. And I'm like, that's not how you would support me. Supporting me would be like, try it out, pay for it.
What do they offer? What do they offer you?
Yeah, they're going to post it on their 500
Well, yeah, because then it's also
followers.
helping somebody else out. And then like the thing is that I think people should do is buy the product, you rock it, you sport it. If you if you make good content with that, the people are going to see that as an opportunity. For example, you guys see somebody posting it's really amazing photos and stuff. You're going to be like, we want to work with you more. So like, let me send you some cool stuff when I get it. It has to be that two-way street. If it's only a one-way street and people are just asking, it's very easy for that person to take advantage.
Yeah.
And you see it a lot and you hear about it a lot in the industry about people just, they just take the product, they take what's good out of it and then they just drop it. And it's like, that's such bad marketing.
Tell her a little bit about what you do, about your product.
Yeah,
tell me more.
Well, a few years ago, actually many years ago, the long story short or long story long, I was a general manager at Harley Davidson. There was a lot of new riders and they didn't know how to clean their bikes, and there was no easy solution. Cleaning a bike is pretty simple. Cover your air cleaner, your exhaust, hose it down, and that's it.
Do you do that?
Do I? No, I use my product, But yeah, no. Before I would do that, if I wanted to keep my bike clean.
Oh no,
in a Harley especially.
With Harleys especially,
for sure.
Yeah. With a Harley, you got to
kidding.
wax it and kiss it and scrub it, and you got to keep it shiny.
Tender love and care.
Yeah, that's right. A lot of TLC. Anyways, I was just trying to find an easy way to clean motorcycles. That's it. At that time, there was one brand which I don't even care to even mention. They were okay, which was a spray and wipe. And anyways, I got with the chemist and started working on different things. He failed. I couldn't get nothing done. Worked with another chemist, and we got closer to something. And then I got busy. Then I went back to that same chemist, and we were able to finish, my chemical, my formula. So the product's called Ride Clean, and it's a ultra premium polish, sealer, waxer, waterless spray, wipe. It's UV protectant, and it protects the leather, works on windshields.
No way, that is awesome.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. If you spray it on the windshield of your car, I have an Audi with the automatic windshield wipers.
Yeah.
The water blows away so quick that the wipers don't even turn on, which is pretty impressive on the newer Audis because they're supposed to sense that right away.
Right.
So, anyways, I've done many, AIM Expos, SEMA, IMS. I've done a lot of shows and completely sell out. People like really lose their mind, especially when they see I put oil on a tank and it just cleans it right off. But the point of this is so many people just want free shit. Like, I don't know. They've never even tried my product. They're not even in the motorcycle or car industry.
Never heard about it. Yeah.
Right.
They don't know.
And it's just like, can I have something free? Can I have something free? I'll promote it. It's like, that's not how you, even friends. I don't mind. I'm the most giving person in the world, and I'll give you a bottle right clean so you can test it out. But even friends want like free stuff. Like, oh, I want to support you. Just give me a bottle for free. It's like, that's not how you support a business. You buy it at a discounted price, you know. Anyways, not to go on a rant. I don't want to say names, Colin. No, I'm kidding. I'm so kidding. I knew Jaime was going to like that. No, Colin, I am kidding, bro. Colin always pays.
He's basically the one that listens to everything the first, and he's going to be receiving this beautifully.
Yeah, that's beautiful. I love it. But yeah, there should be a collaboration. There should be a partnership with anybody you do business with. And it sounds like you have a very strong bond with your sponsors, and you proudly promote them.
For sure. And I actually didn't get through my whole list of sponsors, actually. I work with the AMA Super-Moto, as I said, and Michelin Tire.
Oh, that's
These tires are freaking amazing.
So you can burn out as many tires as you want.
Amazing. Yeah. They're really good. And then I work with MotoMaster. So my MotoMaster brakes are definitely on my KTM. I'm going to be swapping them over to the FS here soon and see how we go. So I'm definitely been ecstatic about them. And just the look of them too. So many people ask me like, what is that? Because it's definitely not just stock.
Yeah.
And I don't like the stock look. I don't know. As soon as I get a Supermoto, I just want to tear everything off of it and put something cool on.
I saw
something aftermarket. I'm all about aftermarket.
Yeah, I saw the rims you put on, the white rims.
Yeah, the white rims. That's Warp 9. These are my favorite.
Those are
so they're also tubeless, which we were talking about earlier when I first got here about tubeless tires. And for me, it's either Alpina or Alpina before I met Warp 9. Because they were tubeless, and I cannot be fucked with a tube at all. I can't. If I'm on the road, when I was on the 690 and the 690 SMCR, they have the tubeless Alpina tires on there. It's just a patch kit. You're on the road. It's so simple, especially as a woman. I don't want to take this tire off and not that I'm saying it just because I'm because I'm a woman, because it's just it's
but
a
you
process.
do it,
it's
and just for the record, I've seen videos of you taking out tires, no problem.
Oh yeah,
but it's a process.
I'm actually doing the same thing tomorrow, and it's definitely going to be a long day. I'm swapping over 2 sets of tires, 2 sets of brakes, and I have just one of my mates coming to help me to make sure I don't fuck up my shit.
Yeah,
don't fuck up your shit.
My mates.
Oh,
yeah, mates.
Yeah.
One of my mates.
Is that Canadian or Australian?
Australian and a bit of Europe, I guess. Yeah, like UK, they say it.
Yeah.
But yeah, I definitely got it from Australia.
Very cool.
One of my mates, my amigos, my hombres.
Nice.
My muchachos.
Yeah, you don't want to fuck up your shit, of course.
But it just helps to have somebody there, especially when you're doing tires and stuff. I mean, if you scratch one rim, I don't know about most people, but like I'm devastated. I'm like, oh my God, I might as well just buy a new one.
So you do stunts and you race, but you don't scratch one rim?
I don't. And I'm not really a stunter. Like before I got like in accidents and stuff like that, like I definitely would do wheelies and like do burnouts more. Accidents. But like, yeah, I've been in a couple gnarly accidents, and I'm kind of, now I'm 32. I'm toning it down. Now I'm more about like filming the adventure and showing people like what a crazy time you can have on a motorcycle. So this year I'm really planning on doing a girls trip up to Yosemite, and my mate is going to film it all, and then I'm going to edit it. Who
is your mate? Is it the same one that's filming on your Instagram? Because I was watching like 4 or 5 videos, and they were amazing.
I do a lot of the transition videos. I do
Instagram
myself,
so people can see it.
So my Instagram is Spico Mode.
Nice.
The
videos are fire.
The transitions and stuff. I do a lot of the videos myself. If I can do it myself, I'll definitely do it myself because I just like to be in my zone. And when I'm creative and want to do it, then I'm just like, yeah, let's go.
The one with the eye and then it just like goes into something else.
Yeah, that was for Super 73. That was like their contest that they had for COVID. Really, really fun contest. And so many people did amazing jobs at it. Super 73 is the electric bikes that I also work with and have won. I won one against Tyler Bierman. Suck it.
So good.
So good. Against Tyler Bierman. He actually thought that I was a lapped rider. And the whole time I was behind him. And he thought I was a lap rider. So he went to go celebrate a quarter mile too early or a quarter turn too early and celebrate.
Oops.
And I passed him at like the very, like half a tire length at the finish line.
Sucker.
And won the Super 73 bike. It was the best victory I've ever had in my life.
Did you win one of the new ones?
I have the older model, the S1 model.
Uh-huh.
But I don't know if I'm going to get a new one. I honestly love my S1. I did
Yeah.
it. I don't know if, and anyone goes onto my social media, you'll see it. It's like this hot pink.
Yeah.
The
I've seen
only
it.
pink one out there.
We did fall in love with the new ones though.
Yeah, the
Yeah.
new ones are amazing. The black
you
on black.
You were writing one out, right?
Yeah,
Introductory,
yeah.
we
And
were
I was
there.
in the their startup video for the RX too, like the Series R.
Yeah,
that
the
they
sports
have.
performance one.
That bike is
With the
crazy.
suspension
Yeah,
and all that
we
shit.
we try to take it up these crazy cliffs and stuff like that, and man, it just goes. It's
Yeah.
definitely a really cool electric bike. It's kind of an in-betweener of a mountain bike and an electric bike, you know, that they see that like the beach cruisers. It's kind of like the perfect mix.
Yeah, it's badass. We had Michael on the podcast on episode 6. It was
yeah.
so exciting
Nice.
to hear
Cool.
his
I'll definitely have
story.
to go and listen to that.
Yeah, his story of how he started the company and what he did and what he's accomplished is so cool.
He is very well established and yeah, just a good person all around. Just everyone at Super 73 is just really good people. Like the same thing.
Yeah.
It's always just a good feel
the
and
culture.
like, yeah, exactly.
It's good culture. Yeah, Jaime was
and they're,
telling
they're,
me.
they're trying to get in the motor industry a little bit more. So, you know, they're trying to have that like, that presence as well.
Right.
So I think it helps that they definitely reached out and happy to support them as well.
Yeah, I kind of reached out at some point. And I said, "Hey, Michael, if you're looking for somebody just to do anything, just let me know."
If
I'll
you
do
look-
it.
He
If you look,
you
you know,
just went online. They just announced the other day that they're hiring.
already,
Yeah,
I'm gonna give him a call.
get on
Listen,
it.
I don't
Send in your
I don't
CV.
care. I don't care what to do. I just want to work there because it seems like everybody's having fun.
Yeah.
It's amazing what they do.
Yeah, he went there and he was telling me what a cool environment.
Yeah.
The
Yeah.
environment that they've done. They're in Anaheim, right?
Yeah, I mean, I would no.
No, they're
Irvine.
at Irvine.
Irvine.
Yeah.
So in my office is I work in an advertising agency, and my office is like maybe 3 blocks away from them. So, but I work remotely. So every time I have a meeting and I go to the office, I kind of swing by and I'm like, "Hey, what's up? What are you guys doing?"
Looking through the
Try
windows like
and
a
look around.
stalker.
to see what you guys-
Want me to test ride
it's always a
anything?
good
Where are
time,
the stormtroopers?
for sure.
Where are the stormtroopers?
Yeah. Yeah, he's so funny with his stormtroopers and Star Wars and stuff. I
Yeah,
have
rexing
actually,
around.
Yeah, rexing around. Really
Yeah.
cool. I've actually never been to Disneyland, so I cannot wait to go.
We're all
We're
going.
going with
He
him.
promised us, and I guess he promised you.
No, he did, but it's okay. Like we missed our opportunity.
Wow.
So I'm gonna go on my own anyway with a couple girlfriends and just go. And he convinced me definitely on Disneyland. He's like, I cannot believe that you haven't gone yet.
Oh, he promised
So-
that he's taking us.
Yeah, he promised he was taking us because he says in
He
Star
said
Wars
that to
land.
last summer to me and Parker both as well.
Michael,
but
we're putting you on
honestly,
blast.
We are putting Michael on blast a little bit, but honestly, it's okay. Like I would rather just go to experience it, but I definitely will remember that Michael was the one that pushed me to go there because he said that it was like the best thing ever.
Yeah, I mean, to me, it just makes no sense to go without him. That's how.
This
that's
is
how
probably
bad it
true
is.
as well.
Well, especially Star Wars land. He
Yeah.
said Disney. Disney's somewhere you can go, by
Right.
yourself with your girls. He says he has no connection. His connections are not as
Yeah,
good.
of course.
But rexing around connections
Because
are,
because he is the Star Wars guy.
Yeah.
He is that guy.
You really got to listen to that podcast.
I
He talks
can't wait.
about-
I'm definitely on my way ride home.
Yeah.
So
Back
what-
to Newport.
So
I'm
what
gonna
were
be
you
listening to
doing?
it.
What were you doing when I met you at Super 73?
So I was just working with them, just helping them out like as a brand ambassador. So I just the same thing as like the CBD company. I just fell in love with their bikes. They were cool. They were trying to break into the motor industry, and same with Parker. We met them at the exact same time and carried our relationship from there. And he actually like works there now. He works there doing the stuff with the Super 73 and doing marketing. And for myself, I wanted to just be associated with it because they're just a really fun brand, like you said. Like they're just cool. So when we met, when I was there, I was just helping out at the front desk for a couple weeks.
Mm-hmm.
They needed like they were expanding. They had nobody in the front desk, and I was just free because also this was before my green card.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Or was it after? I think it actually was just after. This is when I first received my green card. So I was like, oh God, I can work. I was like, let me in. So they were like, okay, cool. So they had an opening and started that. And then I started getting much busier and taking over full time the the moving company. So it didn't really work out that way. And then I also have been starting a zillion other little things, having commercials and stuff like that. Like for myself, I could never work a 9 to 5. Like that just doesn't suit my lifestyle ever.
Yeah, that's terrible.
I've been an entrepreneur since I was like younger. So I just can't, you know, I own a juice bar company also in Barcelona, but I sold out.
So you were in Barcelona for a minute.
I was in Barcelona for quite a few years.
Yeah,
for like
to
4
start
years.
multiple businesses, race out there, get into racing, get into supermoto bikes.
How did you see the comparison of getting? Because you say you're a resident in Spain.
Yeah.
So how do you see the comparison from become a resident in Spain to become a resident in the US? Is it harder?
There is
it easier?
no comparison. It is so easy in Spain. It's literally like a blink of an eye, and you're like, "Oh, cool, I'm here."
What is the? Because I'm never, I'm from Spain, so I don't know.
Where are you from in Spain again?
Madrid. The only place to
right?
be.
Yeah, Madrid and Barcelona, they're like
I
best
know,
friends.
I know.
Slightly, you know.
That's so funny. I actually worked with the Puig family. Do you know the Puig family?
Yes, I do.
They're like one of the wealthiest Spanish families. They have all the cologne and stuff like that. Yeah, Mr. Puig and Pillar. Worked with them out of Monaco. They came on one of the boats. They chartered one of the boats for a bit.
Nice.
For 3 months actually. One of the longest charters ever. They were cool.
Did you go to Madrid?
I did go to Madrid.
Okay.
I thought it was awesome.
And you like better Barcelona?
I liked Barcelona just because I'm a water baby. I really like being by the water. I think that's why California also works for me.
Yeah.
You know, out of all the places in the US, out of all the places in Spain, I had to land somewhere has, you know, a good connection and that a lot of things are happening in art and photography and motorcycles and the water.
So it was pretty quick for you to be a resident, and there was no problems to work and stuff like that.
When did it just
it was
apply?
Like 2 months.
Like, give it to me.
It was like 2 months. Like
you're like,
hey,
kiddo.
Yes, I think
I think even the US, like there's just so many applications where here, like there's not that many. Yeah. It's not as big because like I mean, US is known worldwide for like the green card and everything else. Like it's a process.
Well, everybody. I mean, we can't compare how many people are coming to the US trying to get here legally, illegally
compared to Spain. I mean,
well,
it is a big difference.
If it's just as numbers as we were saying before, it's almost 10 times more people trying to apply. So it makes sense that the process.
It's more than 10 times.
Well, I get it, but also there's a lot of population, a lot of demand of it.
Just naturally, there's going to be a longer process here in the US. So to be a resident in Spain, it was really easy, and I thought everything was it was really easy in Spain. So for a lot of things, I mean, everyone's just so tranquilo, like it's all just like chill, and
the Spanglish, I love it.
Chill, yeah.
Amigos, tranquilo, tequila.
Spanglish, oh God.
Love it.
But yeah, it was so easy. And you'd be stressing and be like, oh man, like I need to get this. I need to get my license here.
Right.
Like I need to get this now. And they'd go there and they'd be like, no, you're good. Like you can use your Canadian one. Like you don't need, even talking to policemen, I got pulled over for riding the KTM. I didn't have it registered yet in Europe. And I like went through the intersection, like right downtown, right by the marina in Barcelona. Yeah. And I totally cut off a car and everything, and I was like in a rush, and I was like, "Oh shit!"
Zero fucks you.
Yeah, zero fucks.
Canadian, fuck Spain.
Zero fucks.
Well,
and my heart died. Like my heart died when there was a police that pulled me over immediately, and I was like, "I have zero paperwork for this bike.
Yeah,
I don't have my Spanish anything," and I was like, "Now I got to speak Spanish as well on top of all this." I lifted up my helmet, and he said something to me in Spanish, and I was like, "Perdona," like habla inglés, like you got to speak English here. So he was like, "Oh yeah, you have really pretty eyes." I was
about to say that.
Oh my God. Thank the moto gods, because this is going to be the easiest thing to get out of ever.
I was going to tell you.
Especially if that's the first thing.
And guys hate to hear this. They hate to hear it, that girls can get away with shit.
Of course.
But holy shit. At that time, I was like, wow. Power is in the pussy right now, and I was like, I got to get out of this because I do not want to get my bike impounded.
You can't, yeah.
In Spain, being blonde, blue eyes,
and
only speaking English is a green light.
And
for
riding this huge,
everything.
all murdered out freaking KTM 530, it was
you could have had
out.
blood all over you, dragging a body next to you. Yeah, it's
you're
okay.
fine.
I just wanted to see your eyes. That's it.
You're good.
No.
And then after that, like I quickly explained as fast as I could And I think he was just so confused about how fast I was speaking in English because I was also
You were doing
really
coke in front
nervous.
of him,
Yeah,
I'm kidding.
basically, he's like, "What has this girl been on?" I was like, "Yeah, blah blah blah. I need to get my bike to the shop, and this is where I'm going, and all this stuff." And he was just like, "Yeah, like,
Go ahead.
bye, get the fuck out of here."
Go.
He's like, "You are a paperwork nightmare to me."
Yeah.
He's like, "Please leave me alone."
Yeah. You're
Well, that's the
explaining.
point. When if
It's
somebody stops
paperwork.
me when I go back to Spain, I pull out my American
Exactly.
card, and
They
they're-
do not
and
want
they're
to
like,
deal
"What?
with it.
What do I do with this? You know, there's no Spanish
only
license
thing-
to build to." What's
Yeah, the
going
only
on?
thing I didn't like about Spain is that they have those cameras, the traffic stop
Oh, of
cameras.
course.
I they sent like 4 of them here, and I was like, what? This
I have
sucks.
had
Got you.
so many.
Oh, they got me.
I had so many. I even have a photo of it. I think I got like 15 in the mail one time.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh my God, I'm going to die. I was like, I cannot get a Spanish license because
Oh, you
this is
can't.
going to register for my Spanish license. So I had to like pay everything off and it was all under my Canadian. So like everything had to get mailed to Canada. And then I had to like get my grandma to send it to me
Jeez.
again. And then I had to pay it. But it was a process. And it took
They were like
them
65, 80 bucks. You're
so
like,
long.
Yeah.
Because I didn't say I didn't even have my residency yet. So it was just my Canadian thing. But they actually did do the paperwork. I was kind of pissed about
Did
that.
they?
I was like, they're never going to do it. I was so confident in that.
Oh,
And
no,
then I
so-
got it in the mail in Canada and I was like, fuck.
Yeah,
Shit.
they do the work to get their money. Yeah. for
Yeah,
sure.
yeah, exactly. They're like, this is a gold mine. This
Yeah,
girl
I-
has been speeding so much.
I ignored mine for probably about 2 months. Then they sent it again. I was
Again,
like, oh, they're
yeah.
not going to quit. They got
They
this.
won't. They won't. If they have your address, they will just keep on putting it in there until they get that money.
Bastards.
They are. Yeah, crazy. I heard that like 11, God, how much money was it? Somebody, this last weekend, 1,100 tickets in Laguna they handed out to only motorcycle riders.
No. 1,100?
1,100.
Just in Laguna?
Somebody texted me that and told me that. And I was like, what? I got to
Oh,
investigate a little bit more.
we're gonna
Anyone
have to-
else have
we're gonna
that
have to fact check
article?
that.
Please send it over because I am so curious. I was like, that is an insane amount of bikes.
But what kind of tickets were they given?
I don't know. I guess for everything, just any motorcyclist, if they had anything wrong with their bikes or anything, they were like zero tolerance for motorists
They need
in
to-
Laguna.
They need
That's
to
not-
recover the COVID. You know,
Yeah,
Wow, that
exactly.
sounds-
I was
that's-
like, the COVID,
the COVID
the
tax.
COVID,
Yeah.
and these killer bees. These, before we
Yeah,
die, we might as well get these
exclamation
bikers.
marks, you know.
Yeah. Crazy, but yeah.
What else? What else are we missing?
So I have a
God.
question.
Yeah, go for it.
Money doesn't exist. Which bike would you buy right now?
Right now, that is a brilliant question.
Somebody tells you you can have any motorcycle in the market. Which one it is?
Regardless of money. But it has to be your primary motorcycle.
They're gonna give it away for you.
This is the Jaime signature question.
honestly, I would definitely just get a 2010 KTM 530 full line of Kropovich with Warp 9 stiletto wheels and the Motormaster setup, and I would be sweet with that.
Did you say 2010?
2010,
Why would you want an old bike?
because I love that model. I've
That's
literally never had such a good ride and such a good experience with a bike as this bike, and I learned a lot. When I was in Spain and I had this bike too, they don't speak, like I took my bike into the shop once, biggest mistake of my life. They totally didn't understand what I was saying. And I was like, wow, my Spanish is really shit, so I'll never do that again. Shot myself in the
Oops.
foot. So just from there, I just YouTubed and like learned everything myself of how I actually have to maintain my bike and what I need to do and how to fix it and how to do the oil changes, how to do the interval changes, chains and everything else, changing tires. Learned all that myself. So I think just the history alone that I have with that connection with that bike has definitely made my moto experience and just everywhere that it's taken me afterwards so amazing that I would want that exact same bike back.
The dream would
That
be
bike
getting
back,
a
literally.
brand new 2010.
Yeah, a brand new
KTM.
2010 KTM 530, and like that bike would just live in my souped up garage and just be there, and I know it's there. That bike is something
Nice.
that I've always wanted, but my friend still has it in Germany, that exact bike. So maybe
you
one
can
day
go and
it'll be in
collect it.
America, which means that it's been on Caribbean, it's been to Germany, France, Italy, Spain,
And
and if it came to America, that'd be 6.
multiple times
Two
in
different
different
continents.
parts.
2 different
Yeah,
continents,
different-
6 different countries.
Yeah, crazy.
That's awesome.
I mean,
That's a great
the bike.
answer.
The bike has a better story than I do.
But have you test ridden the new ones by any chance?
I have.
You don't care for the ABS
I do.
or stuff
I
like
mean,
that?
I absolutely love them. I think that they are amazing as well. So it would be a hard toss up. And also, I mean, every bike I do love. My whole thing is I want to ride every single motorcycle at least once.
Yeah.
I'd never knock a bike, even a Vespa.
And that's
if it's
on
a brand
your
new
social
Vespa.
media. That's on
That
your
is
Instagram.
on my social media. I'm just starting now doing motor reviews because if I get an opportunity to go overseas, and some guy just hit me up and he said, I saw your motor review and I just bought the Honda Rebel. I did the Honda Rebel commercial for them. So then right after I did a review on it, and it was the only, I only have 500 followers on my YouTube. I do not upload. In 3 years since I started the account, I have 6
and you
videos.
Sold a Honda Rebel.
And it got 50,000 views or something like that. And yeah, the guy was I just had to screenshot and send it. He tagged me in his thing. He's like, thanks to Spicoly, I bought my Honda Rebel. Thanks so much for talking to me on Instagram. And I did. I told him what I actually think about it. I have no problem talking to anyone.
What do you think about it?
I thought it was an awesome bike, especially for a beginner. Just because it was really easy. It's very clean. It's very simple. It's very solid. Not that much maintenance. It's a freaking Honda. It's
250, right?
never going to die. The 500.
Oh, the 500? Oh, nice.
They have a 300 and a 500.
Okay.
He ended up going with a 500 because he thought that it was going to be a height issue. Because he was 6 foot, I think. He said he was.
Oh, yeah.
Can you imagine that?
So obviously a 500, a 300. I mean, I rode both of them. Both of them were absolutely phenomenal.
Which one would you get?
The 500.
Yeah.
Just so you get that highway.
Yeah, the CCs get the more
performance. If it was just my city cruiser and I lived in a city and just need to get around, then definitely the 300 for sure. But both of them are incredible bikes. Both were amazing to ride, and it was my first motor review I ever did. And actually, it did so good on my channel. I've got so much feedback from it, so I'm definitely going to be doing more.
Well, we're looking forward to them.
Yeah. Should be good.
What else is going on? What do you have planned for the future? What are the big goals? Where are you in 5 years from now?
Everyone always asks me that, and honestly,
in a jet. No, I'm kidding.
Yeah, I could not say.
Mediterranean cruise.
I could never say where I'm going to be in 5 years because I don't know where I'm going to be tomorrow. I am not a planner. Sense. I will definitely, every single flight I've ever taken, I've probably booked 2 days in advance. I will just jet set, and that is my lifestyle. It's definitely not for everyone, but any opportunities that come my way, I'll just try it out. You never know.
Yeah.
So for me, being in 5 years, established my own business. I'm kind of already there. Just keep on going with things like that, just investments, and just keep on rolling with that. But for bike related, I just want to be able to travel a little bit more this next year or two and do more motor reviews, and really just my Instagram name used to be Travel Dream Discover Supermoto.
That's a long
That's
name.
how I started off. It's a ridiculously long name. That's why I had to change it, because people were literally like,
what?
Why did you choose this name?
Yeah.
What were you thinking? And I was like, honestly, that's all I wanted to do. When I got my first Supermoto, was travel, dream, and discover. And then I also had to put Supermoto in there because it's my passion. And so for years, so literally passion. Only 2 years ago, probably 2 years ago, I changed my name. But before that, I was always Travel Dream Discover Supermoto. So the Europeans, that's how they knew my account. A lot of people anyway.
Did you change it or just open up another account?
I changed it, but then I still took that name and put it under a photography account because I didn't want anyone else stealing that name.
Yeah,
and taking the credit. There's a lot of hashtags still out there and stuff like that. It was your own thing. So I did change the name, but then I swapped and put the name on a different account that I just upload for my Supermoto photos that I take at events. But yeah, I definitely see myself doing some more along what I originally planned on doing with Supermoto and motorcycles in general, is just going out and filming and capturing the moment and just sharing with people what an amazing experience it is to be on a motorcycle and being able to go wherever you want and have that freedom and have that just lifestyle that is what I dream of. And to be able to show that, because I do love photography and I do love film. I've always been really artistic, so I just wanted to express that through the passion of motorcycles. So that's what I hope to bring to my social media channels in the next year, at least. I'm not going to give you a 5-year outlook, but the next year will be definitely going to Yosemite. There's so many amazing places in the U.S., and I have not seen hardly any of them. I've been to places and seen them, but not for what I see as beautiful. Like Yosemite, going up to those mountains to see something that's just so unique. Exactly. Being one in nature with your motorcycle is just so, it's the best feeling in the world to me.
Isn't it interesting how you see the world from a bike compared to a car?
Oh, it's
completely
different. It's totally
You see
different. It's a
everything.
different. It's the smells. It's the feel. It's the heat.
The
it's the
heat,
cold. It's the bike. You know, like how it's running, the curves, just the scenery in general, and you always meet the coolest characters when you're on a motorcycle.
Right.
I don't know what it is about bike
Somebody's
community.
got a story.
The whole thing about like
Always.
you wave to people on the bike,
Yeah.
and if you do not wave to me, you are a fucking asshole. I swear
You're
to
a
God, those
douche.
people that do not wave back,
Yeah.
I like want to turn
They're
around
dicks.
and be like, excuse me.
They're dicks.
To
waved
follow
at
him
you.
back home.
I waved at you and you didn't wave back. What is up? What's your problem, bro?
And I think about it a lot because I'll say what's up and then they don't say what's up and then I'm thinking,
Can I
first of all,
take it
you're
back?
a dick.
I'm like,
Then
yeah. I'm
you
like,
kind of
you-
want to take it back, but then I'm thinking, was he shifting gears or was it a turn?
Exactly.
Or was
So
it not
sometimes
a turn?
it is. But you know
wanna,
what? No matter what, if I'm in a curve and even if we're taking a curve, a hectic curve, and you're looking, I still nod my head, even
Yeah,
though
at
I'm not
least.
looking at this guy. I
Right, but
acknowledge you.
maybe they
I
nodded their
acknowledge
head.
you that you are in the same zone, even if I don't see anything.
Right.
I will still nod my head, even if they're not going to. I will
Something.
still do it
Something,
every
yeah.
single time. I don't care who you are.
Yeah.
When I was in Europe, I was actually like waving to people on Vespas, and my friend's like, "Oh dear God, please don't!
You're not
please
supposed
don't
to
do
do
that."
that.
And
I've
you're
done
not
that.
supposed to. You're not
I've done
supposed to.
that.
But I'm like, dude, he's still out
He's
there.
trying.
He's on two wheels.
He has a stepping stone.
Yeah.
And he has taken that little stone and he has stepped onto his comfort level of what a motorcycle ride could be.
Yeah.
And I'm like, I will still respect that.
I did that. I was on the
And
street
people have
glide.
gnarly accidents on scooters. Let's be honest.
Absolutely.
Those guys
it's the
get
same
it
risk.
almost
It's the
worse.
same risk, except for the speeding part.
Yeah, exactly.
Except that you're inside of the bike. You know, you go with it.
Yeah, and and they get more fucked up because you're inside. You're gonna scrape your knees. You know, bike you
Yeah.
fly off, and hopefully you don't run into another car or slam into go whatever on the street. But on a Vespa or the scooters, they stick with you. You get more fucked up sometimes.
Yeah, I would definitely feel the transition from the salute to the flipping if they pass and they
Well,
don't
it's only
salute
one
back.
finger less. You're like, hey,
Yeah. Yeah, easy transition for sure. But yeah, if you don't wave, you don't be that guy.
You know.
Don't be that guy.
yeah, that's a dig. Say what's up to the guys. I think people in Corvettes and Hummers do the same thing. When like the original Hummers, when they drive past each other,
Oh, yeah,
they
for
salute each
sure.
other. And
For
Corvettes are like, yeah.
I'm not even joking. I drive
made
a
it.
1998 RAV4.
Yeah.
It
What,
is-
another 98 RAV4? Oh, please.
Any RAV4 that has the same body, I will like literally honk and my horn is broken. So it's like this busted ass honk. And I will honk at them and be like,
Yeah. And then
I
they
know
honk
your
back.
struggle. I know your struggle, bro. Like I feel like we can relate by having the same vehicle.
Isn't it cool loving our bikes so much that we don't care what we drive as a car?
Oh yeah, I don't care at all. I mean, my 1998 RAV4. I mean, most this is definitely not true for everyone, but I can put I put a hitch on the back of it, and I can put my motorcycle on the back, and I'm happy.
Right.
Like if I had a sports car, you can do that.
Yeah.
So I am happy as long as I can haul my bike around.
I have
Yeah, as long as you can take it.
I have lasted 11 episodes driving a Prius.
We drove a Prius to
Oh, I
the
can't
lake
stand
today.
them. It
And
drives me
Robert
nuts.
has given me so much shit. The last week I went and changed the Prius
He bought
for
a truck.
Tacoma.
He manned up. And
Did
got a
you?
truck.
Yeah, I had to. because
Toyota,
I
And a
can't
my
Tacoma.
dude, Toyota.
I can't keep going with this guy with the Prius guilt.
There wasn't one episode
Prius
we recorded that I was like, fucking Prius.
Dude, honestly, it got us there and back, and it was so smooth.
And cheap.
I don't even know the price points on a Prius. It's the first time I really
No,
rode in a Prius.
I mean the gas. You don't put gas in like 600
Oh yeah,
miles.
I paid $15. We split gas. $15.
You got rid of the Prius to talk about a Prius? Good job,
yeah.
man. Good job, bro. I thought this was the episode. Failed. Let's redo it.
Now I have to remember it. It's all I have now.
It's just a memory. He's got a tattoo. Prius.
Love Prius.
Behind the ear too.
Exactly.
Yes.
KTM versus
Matchy.
Toyota.
Behind the ear. You know, it's also interesting that while you're talking and what crossed my mind, it's funny how some people think, and setting up your goals and having goals is very important. But I've noticed that some people,
Absolutely.
I noticed
It
that
is.
some people make goals, and if something goes wrong off that goal, they just completely shut down. and then they end up settling for a job. They
Exactly.
and sometimes you
I
have
feel
to
like
do
it's
this.
setting yourself up to fail.
fail.
That's how I take it as.
That makes sense.
I
No, and that's what I was
really
getting out of what
do.
you were saying. And I kind of do things spontaneous, and I think those are some of the greatest things that have happened in my life, is things just being spontaneous.
Yeah.
You can't plan everything. You just gotta have this yes attitude.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, you just never know.
This podcast,
I mean, just-
this podcast took Robert, 5 years of planning, and then started in one spontaneous moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
And
It happens.
And it's blown up. But that's the thing.
is
You have
that
to do it.
have to do it.
That's
There's
right.
no excuses. When you wake up in the morning, you're like, oh God, I'm going to film. I'm going to, same as me. I'm going to do this motor review. If you don't do it, it's never going to happen. You
Your
have to be
Canadian
able
accent
to
came out there
manifest
too.
it.
Just FYI.
Oh yeah, when I say pasta as well,
No,
everyone
no.
always.
If you don't do it,
If you don't do
yeah, that was cool. Yeah, it totally came out. Sorry, please. If
No,
you
it's
don't
fine.
do it, it's not going to get done.
It's
Period.
never going to happen. Like you just have to have
Execution.
execution. Less talk, more action.
Yeah.
Less talk, more action from everyone. I hear so many people talk so much stuff, and I'm like, if you do not tell me that, you will do it. But if you are telling people, I feel it also before you do take that action. Even for myself, I've caught myself. I'm like, oh yeah, that's what I want to do, and then I say it, and then like in my mind, I'm like satisfied.
Right.
I'm like, don't even say it out loud. Just do it and then show. And then
show.
how much more powerful of learners are we by seeing something than hearing something?
Right. Right.
Somebody can tell you a math equation and you can hear it and it means nothing to you. If you can see it and you can do it and like actually visualize it, it's so much, it's just going to be locked in your mind.
Yeah, and the other thing to add to that is I think people I have it, too many excuses. It's so much easier to find reasons not to do things than to do things.
Yeah.
But especially like working out or just eating healthier, it's just a mindset.
Yeah.
You got to
Mind
do that.
over matter.
And then the last point that I wanted to bring up is please do the YouTube channel.
Yeah,
Please.
absolutely. Honestly, I've gotten some really good feedback. I only did that video like 3 months ago, I think.
Well,
I got such good feedback from it. I was like, that's cool.
All your feedback's going to be amazing, and everything you're going to touch is going to turn into gold. And I strongly believe that. But I've had many conversations with our friend Chris, with our friend Matt from Matt Laidlaw, Chris from Eagle Riders. The younger generation, the girls, the younger people, everybody. There's not that many motorcycle rider movies. There's not many things motivating people to ride.
Yeah.
And this is what this podcast is about. This is what having you here is about. This is what your YouTube channel is. And to show people how important and how fun and how adventurous and the journeys and the friends they meet and the people they meet, I think it's wonderful, but people are not seeing it like before. Before you had movies like Easy Riders, before you had movies, on motorcycles that got people excited.
Motorcycles, I think especially in America, like when I thought of motorcycles as a kid, I thought of some extremely bearded,
Right.
big-bellied man on this like Harley who is just like
No, Don. That's us in like
Describing
5 years.
us
That's
right
us
now.
in 5 years. Fat,
but like
sweaty,
I'm
bearded.
thinking of like Santa Claus,
Right, no, yeah.
with the vest. And he's just like
With
a
the little
slob, and he
chains,
gets
the
off.
chains
Yeah,
on
the
the vest.
chains.
Yeah, yeah.
He gets off his bike. He spits immediately. He's offending children and wives
that's not
everywhere across America.
Yeah.
Like that's a feel that you got because that's how it was represented in movies. He was like the cowboy of, the
fat cowboy.
U.S. Like
The fat
he
cowboy.
went from
What
a
a
horse.
lazy fucking
Yeah.
guy. What a bad
Who
image.
is that guy?
And he was cool
Who-
somehow, but
And he was cool. But then they kind of started to flip it a little bit and make it like, this sexy motorcycle dude who's like, smoking his cigarette and like looking badass. And I think that like also started to turn and take it. And then there was like, then you have these hot ass women on the back of the bikes.
Yeah.
And then people were like, oh,
That's cool.
bikes get babes. Cool. Starting to put, you guys are like, what? That never happened.
Never happened. I don't know why.
it would never happen.
No, bro.
Isn't that how you met your wife?
Not at all.
Not through motorcycles. How'd you
Not
meet your
at
wife?
all. That's
She
cool.
rides.
That's cool.
And
She
rides.
rides.
Yeah,
Come
that's
on,
cool.
that's so cool.
She got her license.
She's got her license.
Yeah.
She had her
Dude, she has her
motorcycle.
license.
She
That
has a
is
motorcycle
amazing.
or had a
That's
motorcycle.
like we say, stepping stones.
Yeah,
Right.
for sure.
Did she have her own motorcycle?
Never. She has a license, and then we had the first kid. So
Okay.
game over.
Yeah. No, it's not game over.
It's not game over.
It's not game over.
There's potential.
She's young. She can do whatever she wants as well. Once you raise the kids up and stuff like that, she might get into it.
no,
Might
see,
want to take a cruise
maybe.
with you.
Maybe.
Then that might be the most beautiful vacation you two ever had. You never know.
Let's
You never
hope.
know what the future
Let's hope.
holds.
Let's hope she does.
Let's hope. But the point is that we need more podcasts like this. We need more people like you. We need to get more active and create our videos and show this experience of
motivation
and motivation.
Where's that pill at?
Yeah, we need the limitless pill.
Yeah,
to get that shit done. Just get a million
fire
fucking
it out.
Yeah, I'm waiting for that.
You got to do that without the pill, though. It's a struggle, but you'll get there.
Yeah.
Once it's done, and you guys have your satisfaction. You guys have your podcast going and stuff like that. It's already rewarding.
It's already
rewarding.
Yeah, it's been super rewarding. We've had amazing conversations. I think this will be episode 13, 14 when it comes out.
Lucky number 13.
Yeah,
it might be. Yeah.
It might be 13, but the conversation, you won't be able to do this with people.
Yeah,
in regular daily life, it's difficult, and especially if you go into a rally or to a motorcycle event, you can't have this one-on-one. And this has created a great opportunity for us to get to meet cool people like you, and us get to share our experience, etc. But so please do that.
Absolutely. Honestly, I was so stoked when you guys said that you guys are doing podcasts. I was like, yes, that's awesome. I do love podcasts. I wanted to start my own too, but I'm the same thing.
Do it.
The same thing. I get too busy doing all my other stuff. It's excuses. Yeah. And then I got the mic, and then I was like, what am I going to do? What am I going to talk about?
You can talk about anything.
I
mean, you
exactly.
hear
That's the beauty of podcasts, is literally you can just get on there and talk about anything.
Yeah, there's a podcast that just does old TV episodes of like the 90s.
I've been listening to murder podcasts, like these like crime scene crazy.
But is it like crime stories?
Yeah, it's a crime stories. It's
But is it like a 1950 radio sound, like, and then the guy like they tell stories, or it's like real life stories that have happened?
It's a real life story it's like from back in the 70s or 80s. They found these barrels in this random town in like the middle of nowhere in the US, and that these bodies have never been able to be identified even today.
Well,
it's crazy. It's crazy how like just the whole story. There's so much information about one person's story that they can have like 100 episodes of one thing.
Yeah,
I'm like, that is a lot of episodes about one thing that hasn't been solved. I'm like, where is this gonna go?
They're solving shit now. I don't want to say the name of this website or company, but there's these websites where you can like spit in them, or you give them some blood, and they can tell you your family history. They can tell you what percentage of this, and I don't want to say the name of the company, but now they're solving old 70s and 80s murders because they had DNA, but they were never able to compare it to anything. And now these websites collect this information, and the FBI is like, whoa, and they've made multiple fucking arrests based on somebody's like, I wonder what the percentage of Hispanic I got, that goes in, that you go into the system and done.
I am not surprised at all.
Yeah.
At all.
Yeah.
Honestly, I'm curious, not to get really into it because it's so controversial, but the COVID-19, like, what is the point of all of this?
Yeah,
we'll see.
I mean, like, there is something way Gates, bigger happening.
Some guy named Bill wants to get everybody vaccinated. The newest one I heard that was so silly, but it made sense, was that COVID-19 stands for Certificate of Vaccination, identification, and that 19 changed into numbers is AI. So it's Certificate of Vaccination Identification, AI. Dun, dun, dun.
Dun, 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 dun. Honestly, there's so many conspiracies and so many people confused. It is confusing. I'm not joking. Hearing news in the United States, I just feel like the message is confusion.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
I'm listening and I'm like, this just nobody is agreeing on anything.
Nothing.
I'm like, how is this? Who actually has the facts here? Who?
Nobody has the facts. But the scary part is how much money the government's paying businesses and how much money they're paying to people. Like, just shut the fuck up. Here's some money. Here's your $1,200.
Exactly.
I know businesses getting approved for $50,000. The Lakers just got approved for multi-millions.
Yeah, they gave it back though.
Some of them. I heard some of them. I'm not sure, but I heard some of them.
I'm like, how are these rich people getting richer off of it?
But these companies, the point is, and now they just, California, I think, just released, or the United States released an additional $30 trillion to give back. So you think about it. if you get unemployment, they usually give you unemployment for about 6 months to kind of like help you buy time. Now, and then it still probably takes a year to get a job. So there's another 6 months you don't have a job. If they're giving you this much money now, like what are we supposed to be getting prepared for? And the way I see it, or the way that I hear it from local governors, this is going to take months of this weird shit going on. And I know we're ignoring it, but
people are like trying to open up everywhere.
they're trying to open up, but the government's still going to push that. Hey, wear your mask. And
I think we took seriously 2 weeks, and then after that, everything's fine.
I think it was a little longer, 3 weeks, but you're right. It was short. Now but there's still a lot of people fucking scared. LA traffic is at an all-time low. I mean, there's traffic right now, but nothing compared to.
Yeah, absolutely nothing. I mean, California, just compared to Havasu trip here that we did this weekend, they are definitely way more strict. The moment you cross the border, masks on everywhere you go into. Never saw one mask in Havasu.
Really?
Never saw one mask.
Oh, we're wearing masks in California. Just so the listeners know.
Nobody
California,
cares.
Everybody's wearing a mask.
Everywhere.
And it's crazy.
You are not
going
allowed.
To a bank.
You are not allowed in the store. Like they will refuse you going in unless you have a mask on.
But nobody's wearing gloves.
Exactly.
And we're all touching money
so
and door
about
handles.
this.
And that's supposed to be the most contagious way.
Is hands.
Yeah.
And I'm like, why are masks but not?
Because it sends a message. People see it.
Exactly. And it's like, it's intimidating.
Yeah.
I feel it is like this intimidation thing, because why wouldn't you say gloves as well?
Yeah. It's interesting going to a bank wearing a mask. I never thought I'd
be doing
that. Yeah. Give me some money.
And the gloves.
Balaclava, you just come in, you're like...
I can walk in with a mask, a hat, or a helmet, or a motorcycle helmet.
And nobody's going to say anything.
Nobody says anything.
With your gloves,
it is strange.
not leaving any fingerprints or anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe.
Nice.
But if you walk in with no mask, they'll scream and call security. They'll
security. There's a guy that I can see his face.
No mask. Yeah.
It is definitely a strange time.
And it's so easy to get away with crime right now. Don't do crime, guys. Don't. I'm not saying to do crime. I'm just saying it's so easy.
So easy.
Like,
do it.
People aren't watching. They're distracted.
Don't do it.
Yeah, absolutely. I totally agree.
Yeah.
I think the crime rate they said it had definitely spiked like right as soon as COVID-19 happened, because everyone was like, nobody's in the offices, nobody's there.
I'm not sponsored, or I'm not trying to. I just really like this app. There's an app called Citizen. Have you tried that app?
No. Tell me about it.
App. It's basically like Waze. You know how Waze tells you the police.
I love Waze.
I love Waze.
Putting it in Cookie Monster, that is my go.
That's the shit. Yeah, yeah. Citizen is the same thing, but for crime.
Okay.
In your area. So if you hear cop cars, you go to the app, it already tells you what's going on. It says police got a call, woman getting assaulted by knife, or blah, blah, blah. It's instant. It's a pretty cool app. And because shit's getting so crazy right now, I strongly suggest people to download it.
Absolutely.
And if Citizen wants to sponsor the Right
Balance podcast,
Citizen
should definitely get on you, because I'm going to download it literally the moment I'm home and on Wi-Fi.
It's amazing. Like seriously, any you hear a helicopter, it's on there. Anyways, enough of the app. Is there anything we missed that you want to bring up?
No, honestly, it's just been a pleasure talking with you guys, and also learning about your stories, like what you guys have been up to. And, tell me, actually, I have questions for you.
Please.
Tell me more about what you guys are doing. What's your group all about? The Los Pepes. I mean, it's such a freaking cool name. You guys have amazing content. I love your guys' content. We never
discussed why you named it Los Pepes.
Yeah, I want to know. I want to know now. Now I'm the podcaster here.
Thank you for
I want to know.
What's the name of this podcast?
No. Yeah, it's Spicoly.
Nice podcast.
Yeah, the podcast. I actually thought at my first podcast I was going to call it Kind Cunt.
That'd be a good one.
Which is terrible. I know cunt.
No, but that's cool.
And talk about how nice people should be to each other, but how actual shitty people are to each other. And that was going to be my whole thing, because people frustrate me.
Yeah.
But please.
But you could totally make a shirt and hat and gear and a logo.
I was like, what was I thinking?
In your next Super-Moto.
Oh, yeah, exactly. No, I literally, I own that URL. Like,
do you really?
I do. Like, I was going to take it there. Yeah.
That's so funny. How would you design that, Jaime? Kind cunt. How do you imagine that
don't
logo?
know.
And it was
I need to
like
work with it.
K with a K, so it was like kind cunt, you know. So it wasn't like fully offensive.
Wait, you had 2 Ks?
Yeah.
Yeah, you were 1K away
Yeah,
from being
I know.
offensive.
F.
I know. That's why I was like, God, I don't know.
Whoops.
I don't know if this is a make or break for myself, but I felt like it was gonna break me. So
Most
I
likely.
didn't
Stop.
follow through. But please tell me. Los Pepes.
Yeah, Los Pepes just started. I mean, the name is basically my 2 grandparents' name is Pepe, so I decided to call it.
Pepe's a
in
nickname
honor of
for.
Jose. So yeah, I decided to call it Los Pepes, and I started in New York. Created a group of 4 or 5 guys. We rode together. That was pretty much it. Until we started like making some t-shirts. People liked them. We started selling them. None of them sold. So I came to live in LA.
Where are the amigos at?
And yeah, I know.
Well, maybe Amigos bought 'em.
we were 5. I sold 5 of them.
Yeah.
So you were the 5 amigos?
Exactly. I was the 5th one.
Yeah, nice. I like
Alright.
it.
So I came to live in LA. I met Rio, and Rio worked at Glendale Harley. Yeah, and he had a big group of friends that he rode with. So one of those holidays that you guys have, Americans. I don't know which
Labor
one was.
Day, Memorial Weekend.
Something like that, yeah.
They had hot
There's
dogs,
always
basically.
holidays.
We did a ride together. It was like about 20 people, and we decided to just turn the crew into merge Los Pepes with the crew that they already had. And obviously, I'm a photographer, so I started shooting these guys while riding, and it's just been like
You were using the camera while riding?
I don't know.
You got to be careful sometimes with that. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Yeah. Maybe there were some pictures there.
Do you shoot with your camera while you're on the bike? I debate about this all the time. I'm like, is this a good idea? Or is this
Has
not?
he? Or
Yeah.
does he?
Do you like? Yeah. Okay. I
A
do
little
as
bit.
well, and I'm always scared that my strap is gonna break.
Oh, that's not-
Does this
that's not
constantly
funny.
go through your head?
0%. My concern is other things breaking.
Oh
Yeah.
man, my little biggest fear is definitely that.
Yeah. No, I mean, I know that it's fine. I have my camera insured, so it's fine. If it drops, I'll just get another one.
Time is pretty good with the straps.
Yeah, I'm good. Yeah, anyway, so since the moment that I started in New York, it's been a picture a day, most of the days. So I have to write enough. That kind of forces me to write, and it kind of forces me to shoot, which I really like. So that's pretty much it.
Yeah, and I do got to bring up, just recently, Los Pepes Instagram, which is Los Pepes. Is it Los Pepes?
Los Pepes Seal.
That Los Pepes CEO just hit 1,000 posts.
Nice.
So of all his
wow.
pictures, that's big news.
And
That is huge.
Obviously,
Congrats.
of seeing the pictures, brands started to reach out. Same as kind of with you.
Yeah.
People are starting to reach out. So we got Two Brothers, Memphis Shades, Showy helmets, a bunch
I
of
do
sponsors.
love Showy.
Which we never like we discussed. We never ask for anything for free.
We bought everything.
We
Yeah.
always ask them for a discount or for cost price or whatever. We don't want people to lose money.
But
Right.
even before that, and I'm going to bring this up because Jaime is really good at this, he'll buy something before he even considers any sponsorship. So he'll pay full price, he'll buy it, and he'll test it and say, fuck.
Exactly.
Hey, guys.
It's all about that.
And
honestly.
he'll literally say, hey, guys, I love this and I want you guys to have it. I think I can get a discount.
And
No.
if
cool.
if I don't get a sponsorship, I just straight up call and say, hey, I have a bulk order for this. I
Right.
want a discount.
right.
And everybody's open for that. So now we're working with BMW Riverside. Most of us got BMWs, and it's been great.
yeah, your bike's very nice. It's definitely balling.
Thank you. Thank you. And then, we did a Los Pepes Ride Clean collaboration. We've done a Los Pepes.
Hand sanitizer
We
now.
just did a hand sanitizer. Yeah, we
Mask.
just launched
Nailed
that.
it. Nailed it.
All made in America. Bottles are American. The formula, it's all FDA approved. And we're going to launch that this week. So,
nice.
I
Wow,
guess
you
when
guys
this
got a
plays-
lot in the pipeline as well. It's
Yeah.
great. You know?
The close of Los Pepes is something that I started with another partner, Colin. He works in fashion and retail and manufacturing. So he started, designing some clothes for Los Pepes. We have jackets, t-shirts now,
Vest,
vests with Espinosa, which
Hats.
is an amazing brand. Hats.
shirts.
Now we're gonna launch soon.
There's
a
even-
whole a jumpsuit. which we're
Nice.
excited about.
Yeah.
Very cool.
There's even 2 Super 73 bikes, all Los Pepe style.
There is
Yeah,
Sunlight.
I know. I
Yeah.
was there when you guys picked them up first. That's actually where I first met you.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
cool.
So that's pretty much it. So do you want to remind us of all your social medias?
And where we can find you?
Yeah, of course. On YouTube, I'm Spicoly with an
Spell it,
EY.
spell it,
yeah,
spell it.
SPICOLEY.
She
And
thought
then,
about it.
yeah, I had to think about that. And then, because most of my social media is actually Spico mode, SPICO.mode, MODE. I don't know why I haven't changed that one,
Mode's one of
but
those words.
it might change. I don't know.
Yeah.
And then, yeah, just a huge shout out to like all my sponsors. Working with AMA, Super-Moto, MotoMaster, Brakes, Michelin Tires, Cena. Didn't even speak about Cena, actually.
Cena's fucking amazing.
Amazing. The 10C Evo I have with the 4K camera right now, this thing is wild.
And it's a 4K camera built in.
4K camera.
That's
and you
fucking
can connect to other riders while you're
With
on your
the
motorcycle.
mesh option.
And yeah, and be able to
Record? Nice.
the whole thing. It just saves you on editing
We-
compared to a GoPro or
We use the
anything.
30Ks, but
Yeah.
We all rock it.
10C Evo, you guys got to check it out.
Doesn't it feel futuristic that we
It
can all
does.
talk to each other without looking at our faces? It's
Yeah.
so fucking amazing. Anyways, please.
It is really cool for sure.
Cena.
Toxic Moto has helped me out and helps me out for sponsorships for everything, doing everything with my bike throughout the whole year. And he's actually got me in touch with Michelin, so shout out to Michelin as well. Thrill Seekers for my seat covers. Dirt Legal, they got the FS Street Legal here, which is the only FS 450 Street Legal in California. Three Brothers Racing,
Nice.
they're in Orange County. They do all the maintenance and maintaining my bikes. Warp 9, those are those amazing tubeless Super-Moto wheels, SM wheels. They also do kickstands and pegs as well, so I kind of just get anything I can from them because their quality is awesome.
That's awesome.
Grenzgänger is my goggle sponsor. Have you guys heard about Grenzgänger?
No.
It's a
No.
German brand, but they're huge. They're definitely the biggest in the world for Super-Moto content.
Oh,
By
nice.
far. They're
have to check 'em
huge.
out.
Yeah, definitely check them out. And Drink Present CBD with sparkling water. And
CBD.
the last one is Cortec. Oh, and HJC. But Cortec has definitely been my freaking best friends. Honestly, they have been awesome. And just their quality of gear is amazing. And HJC helmets, you can't really go wrong with an HJC.
I also love your phone, total girl, no case, cracked in
No
the back.
case.
That's just
It is
that's
just
so girl.
It is. It is definitely a sad thing.
No, it's not.
I'm not even joking. I took the cover off this weekend.
Yeah, oh really?
Because
You usually rock
I
it.
was good. Yeah, I always
And
do
then
rock
that's
the
when it
cover.
broke.
And it literally, I was wearing overalls because I was working on the bike and I stepped out of my car and it just slipped out and broke. And I was like, well, it doesn't even need a cover now. It's fine.
What mount
So-
do you use? What mount do you use for your phone on your bike?
Okay, good question. Actually, I have been trying to find a good one.
I can-
Right now, I don't have a bike mount. I just got this generic one that I got off of Revzilla. And it's not that good. I don't even know the brand.
We'll
but
get
it's
you
not
on
that
that.
good. But I've been trying to find something that is good,
We
that
have
is
it.
easy.
We have the best
Easy.
one. The
What is
easiest,
it?
the
What is it?
cleanest. It's called Hyman.
Quad lock.
The quad lock.
This is-
Is that one that they have at Super 73?
No.
No, different.
This is magic. I mean, it's super low profile on your bike, and it's just you can crash on your motorcycle and the phone will stay there.
Okay, so you have to have a cover for it. So it
Yes.
has to be the quad lock cover.
It has to be the quad lock cover, but it's so
Okay.
low profile. It's
It
crazy.
is low profile.
We'll get you one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, that's really cool. I've actually, it's really funny. I was trying to find
And
one.
it's a great strong case. I've dropped
Really
my
good
phone
case.
so many times.
And
This
it's
thing's
also
super
prepared
heavy
for
impact.
not that anybody does it, but record charge it through induction.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
Nice.
I
I
do
do.
it.
I
What do
do
you
that.
mean?
I
You do
do
whatever
that
you
as
do.
well.
Of
I do that.
course.
I don't have a.
I don't plug
have a
anything to my
tradition,
phone.
yeah.
That's too much
Sorry,
work.
sorry.
What's wrong with him? Thank you for
But
being on the
isn't it hard when you need to talk on the phone when you need to charge it? This
I
is
hold
the
it.
biggest
I hold
downfall.
it.
Yeah,
No, I
right?
know.
I know.
I do with the cable pull in.
Thank God somebody else knows the struggle.
Yeah.
Because my phone's always
why
on
don't you
red.
guys connect it?
What's that?
Why don't you guys connect
No,
it?
because once you commit to that, there's no cable.
There's no cable, so
Yeah.
you have to hold it up like. to
No,
your
but why don't you
ear.
guys connect the cable?
Because once you
Or
commit,
put it on speaker.
Once you
Climate.
commit,
Once
you
you
can't.
commit-
You can't. There's no going back.
yeah, you can. What's wrong with you?
Yeah.
The only time you use the cable is in
Don't
a
be
car.
silly.
My car has the induction too.
Yeah. So does mine.
Yeah, sure.
Thank you.
But yeah, thank you
Being
guys.
here.
Thank you. And
Thank
for telling
you
me your
for being
story
the
as well. That was
podcast.
really cool.
Absolutely. We'll be checking in with you soon. And I think
yeah,
that's
and
a wrap.
hopefully we can get you next time with Parker.
Yeah, for sure.
That'd be very cool.
Thank
Until
you.
next time.
Sounds good.
And that's it for this episode. Thank you so very much for listening. If you liked it, please make sure to subscribe on Apple, Spotify, YouTube, on everywhere. Wherever you're listening to this, there's a subscribe button. Please click on it. It helps the podcast. It helps the guest. It helps all of us. And make sure to follow us on Instagram at Ride Boundless to see amazing pictures and contents and videos of the people we are speaking to. Until then, see you next week. Ride safe, ride hard, ride boundless.